Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right! Yeah! Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Hey everybody, welcome to OffWorld 2.0, or as I like to call it, Joe Gonzalez Live. Good to see some people in the chat already. I hope you're ready to have some fun. I'm just messing around. I'm not going to be the only host. The guys are in the back. How's it going, fellas?
It's going great, man.
Wonderful.
Awesome job. Way to start Joe Gonzalez Live.
Yeah.
Joe Gonzalez Live.
Joe Gonzalez World.
We will have Big Greg joining us in a little while, and Jesse should be here later tonight, maybe once he's done with D&D. So, but Joe, this was kind of your baby. So what are we doing? You want to do toy pickups first, or I know you had several things you wanted to kind of do tonight.
I wanted to do a new segment called Ask Us Something. So I put a post up in our Legend Daddies Facebook group for anyone to ask any questions, and then the host would answer it live on the air. And nobody asked any questions. So that segment died a painful death. But I did post it today, so maybe there just wasn't enough time for it to get going. I actually thought about it this morning, so we'll try it again next week. I'll post it earlier. If it sits for 5 days and we don't get any questions, that segment's buried, thumb down.
So for those that may not know, we do have a Facebook group, which is the Legend Daddies Facebook group. It basically covers anything within the Legend verse that we call it. So that's Legends of Grayskull, Shooting the Shelf, and it's Offworld. So everything that falls within that category lands on the Legend Daddy page, and that's where you can find updates, any kind of postings, things like that, and Joe's Questions, which I think would be an awesome name for the segment, just Joe's Questions.
On Joe Gonzalez Live, Joe's Questions.
There you go. So what we'll do is next time Joe posts it, we'll pin it on the Legend Daddy Facebook group. Go out and throw out your questions. No question is too taboo unless Jesse's on. Wink, wink. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. So
and I did pin it. It's still nothing, but
yeah. Prince Collection says Legend Daddy. You say I'm gonna have to join. Yeah, it was. It was the Legend Daddy, Legend Daddy. And then we changed to Legend Daddy because it's cooler. I actually did it on a joke, and we just left it that way. So, because after you change the name of the Facebook group, you find out that you got to keep that for 30 days now. So, and much like anything else, you do something for 30 days, it just stays. So,
and we just got to get a cool tagline to go with it, like "Who's your Legend Daddy" or something like that.
Yeah,
add some spice, little fire.
Let's take a look at who we got in the chat, though. We do have Rygon out there in the chat and in the seat. It's crazy. We don't know what's going on. Dave Orkins here, Kevin McCoy, Tanya McCoy. We got Prince Collections, Wholesome Warlock, Maverick is out there, Mike Carter, JG, Eddie is out there, Amber Gonzalez, let's see, JMax77. Yeah. So all of you folks out there, thank you for showing up. And I'm sorry because we do not recommend this for anybody. Just FYI. Except for Joe. Joe's been like, man, he's been making posts and Instagram things, and he's really trying to make
for
this
everybody.
Yeah. Joe's trying to make this a good show for the rest of us. It's just like, it's just where we're at on Friday. So
you get to hang out with Joe on a Friday night. What's better than that? Come on.
Right.
Two Joes.
There you go. That's what we're gonna have to do. Let's do a segment where I put on a stocking cap and I darken my mustache and stuff, and we do like a double Joe.
Can you set it up?
Let's not break the internet. Come on.
Can you set it up so Joe is on one side, you're on the other, and the third host is in the middle? So it's between two Joes.
Yeah. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it where we just talk about everyday things, and we'll call it Average Joes.
Hey. And then underneath anything but, right? And
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
With us tonight, we do have two of our we've got one 2.0 OG 2.0 member, and we got a new person we just threw in the group because you know what, he's a fun guy. But let's start with our OG. We got Rygon. How you doing, sir?
I am pretty good. I shaved my face. I don't know if anybody noticed, but
I did. You're doing the whole Jordan thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, but you know, if you're happy, I'm happy.
I regretted it the minute I started. I started hitting with the clippers.
That's usually how it goes. It's like that instant regret. But Jordan does say you look very dapper. So there you go.
Thank you, sir.
I think the more important thing is, what does Amber think of it?
I think
Amber,
she
if
likes
you're
it
out there, let us know. Yeah. she'll let us know in the comments.
Yeah, she doesn't get her face isn't itchy and pricked by my beard when we kiss. So
there you go.
She likes
it. She said she refused to go mustache. Oh, there you go. She's trying to get you to be that like 70s cop, you know, get some those reflective glasses, and
I shaved everything but the mustache, and I thought I looked goofy as hell. So I just got rid of all of it.
Now I'm just trying to imagine it. I kind of wish I had like some like little magnetic sand to put over your face, try to figure out what it is.
I should have taken a picture.
Yeah.
Somebody screenshot Ryan and give him a mustache. PGG, if you're out there, put a mustache on Ryan. Let's see what it looks like, and we can all vote on it. Yeah, I did that like it must have been about 10 years ago or something. I shaved everything but the mustache to see what it would look like. It was not good, man. It was this chin is not made for not being covered. It is not good. And we have Billy joining us this week. We added him to our 2.0 chat. He's a fun guy. He's got an awesome channel. Billy, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing stuff.
There you go. Billy does stuff.
Yep.
So. And he's on his chair still, so that's always good.
Yes, and my cup is only filled with sugar-free Monster right now to make it through the night. So
nice.
We're all good. It
does have a skull on it though. That's a little terrifying.
That's just to remember.
We've got a question from Van for you, Joe. Where can he find a host roster list? He's so confused. Where's Joe's bikini? So many questions.
Yeah. Do we have a roster?
Do you have a bikini?
We've got our main.
Are you in the Legend Daddy
OffWorld
group?
Yeah.
If you want to see my bikini
chat, and then we have our 2.0 chat, which is like everybody who's ever expressed interest in being on the show.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think this is a free for all. Pretty much anybody you wanted to be in could be in.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the algorithm protected me from the bikini.
The bikini's on the Legend Daddy group. If you want to see me in leather, which I look good. Just saying.
Joe does make a good looking gal. You know, he's been Baroness. He's been Black Widow. Mm-hmm. He can really pull it off. So
SDL is going to reshoot our Speedo Car Wash, Joe, if you have any interest in being a part of that.
Nice.
Just saying.
If I wasn't in Nevada, you know, but Photoshop goes a long ways if you guys want to score some points. So
There you go.
That's fair.
All right. Well, I guess let's do some since we don't have any questions, let's do some toy pickups. And Joe, you're in the first seat, so why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
I actually have a lot this week.
Good.
You know, I remembered to you know, ship my pile of loot and had some other luck. So starting off, Jesse was talking about this figure last week. The
that Star Wars one
for Sandan. Yeah. And I was in Walmart on Monday and they had them marked down to $13.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
And that was a deluxe one, right? It was more expensive initially.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It's a pretty big figure. That's why I had Jesse hold it up next to a Legion's because it scales pretty good with the Legion. So I'm probably going to be stealing some body parts for customs if I ever get around to doing customs again, which I really, really want to.
Yeah.
But I snagged 2 at $13. I was like, I can't pass that up. So
yeah, that's too good.
Yeah, that was a good deal. And then there was a flash sale on Amazon, and I grabbed the NECA Strongheart D&D character.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. I actually opened him up, and it's a pretty good figure. I actually, well, of course, I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, but I think now that I have them, I actually might get some more. They're
yeah, I'm
how
not.
much was he?
Yeah, what was
I think I got them for 23 on sale.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the I don't know, the like the pauldrons, the torso, all that kind of stuff. It looks overall like a good figure. But if you notice that his legs are a weird proportion and his knees seem to be very low, once you notice that, like, you cannot unsee it. But
Crap.
if you get him into a crouching like attacking pose, then it's not so bad. So
It's in my brain now.
He's if it wasn't a D&D figure, I probably wouldn't have got it just because, you know, I love Mythic Legions, but I'm such a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan that I really couldn't pass it up. So
yeah,
you know, I don't know. It's a fun figure. I enjoy it. It's not the Legions, but you know, I like D&D and getting D&D stuff. So that was fun for me. And then I got oh, that's really silver. Hot Wing. I had pre-ordered this guy a long time ago. Yeah. And I actually forgot that I had pre-ordered it. And I don't pay attention to my email that close because I rarely get important emails. And then I was checking my email and it was like, hey, you've got something in your pile of loot. It had already charged me and everything and put him in my pile of loot. So I shipped him. He's really yellow, like more yellow than I was expecting. But still a good looking figure. I'm happy to have him. So.
I thought I had that one on pre-order, but apparently I do not. So I'm gonna have to go out there and place an order for that. So other than being yellow, though, it looks good.
I think it looks good. Yeah, it's a good sculpt. I haven't opened it to mess with the articulation or anything, but the paint seems pretty good. He's kind of given the side eye with both of his head sculpts. I don't know. That's probably not going to come through. He's looking off to the side a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I can make that work in a display for sure. So yeah, but yeah, I think it looks good.
Beauty.
And then Hasbro Pulse had a sale on D&D monsters, so
nice.
I snagged a Displacer Beast, which is very cool. Haven't got a chance to open them up yet, but I mean,
fun figure.
Definitely a classic monster, you know, for Dungeons and Dragons. So couldn't pass that up. And last but definitely not least, I snagged Xanathar.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is I've wanted this one for a while. I just didn't want to pay full price for it, you know.
But he's so big.
But Yeah, he's like madball sized. But when I saw him on sale, I couldn't pass him up. I mean, Xanathar is a classic villain character. He has the guide to monsters, you know. He just gets around, you know. So so that was pretty fun. The only one I'm missing for the D&D monsters that they've released so far is the brown owlbear, and I'm kind of waiting for that one to go on sale. I like it a lot, but I don't know if I like it like full price like it. So, you know.
All right. Give me just 1 second. Actually, let me move Billy over here. Billy, go ahead and let's do your stuff, and then I've got something I got to pull up after that. So go ahead.
If I bought a Timber off of eBay, because I saw where Timber, the first release, matches almost exactly to NECA's Thing dog, and I want to make him into a Thing dog with better articulation since the NECA.
Okay, what is a Thing dog?
Well, the movie The Thing from
movie
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Keith David. They have a set. The set's like it's a little overpriced. I might try to find like a secondhand version or something like that. But it comes with like the wolf dog that's like sitting prone. But that's all it could do. Only its head. But it turns out the neck peg on this matches that. Just some random happenstance that happens. So you can put like the exploded gory head on Timber here. And, yes. And then you put the cloth over him and stuff. So I want to do that and have where like he's a Thing dog. That'd be a lot of fun. Also picked up a knockoff Mechagodzilla. And so far he's really worth it for like $25. This guy's, he has a fair amount of detail. He just needs more paint because he's done in like a silver plastic. But like fiddling around with him, the ball joints on like this $5 figure are better like some Hasbro stuff I've got. So it's like, yeah, wonderful. Did I get anything else? Shoot. Everything else is in like boxes because I got like I got the Elkhorn and Heat Ray Godzilla from Big Bad Toy Store, and that's in a box. I haven't had a chance to open it yet, but other than that, just hanging out.
All right. Well, before I put Ryan on, I've got something to pull up. So let this be a lesson to anybody out there. If you call down the thunder, you're gonna get it. Don't ask PGG to do something if you don't want them to really do it. So here we go.
I do.
So here's some things that I just got in the matter of the last like 60 seconds.
I just needed to check and make sure my mustache was still there. So, yeah.
So we got this one. We got this guy.
Pretty good.
Yeah. This one, if he goes a little gray, get a little gray in that thing.
Do you have some popcorn?
Then here's
nice.
We decided to give him a little Jordan wig. I'm not really sure what's going on here.
That one should be safe for Jesse. Just saying.
Right.
Here we go. If he pulled a van
beard.
Oh my! Yeah. I don't know. It looks like Sean Strupp entered the chat.
Then we got if he I don't know what was a
evil cattle rancher.
I think he's gonna throw someone on some railways and run him over the train.
Yep. Where's your 10-gallon hat, Ryan?
Yeah,
there it is.
So, it's missing the knit. Hey, it's Pete McCarthy.
Yeah,
there we go.
So there you go.
There we go.
So that's what happens when you call out PGG. That's what they come up with. So
that I will say is not bad at all. So
all right.
Ryan's not allowed to grow hair anymore. This is our new segment.
Yeah.
What's on Ryan?
I really do think I think Billy was onto something though. I think you put Ryan's face on one of those like things that we had as kids with the little like stuff that you move around with the magnet and like
Woolly Willy. That's what that was called.
Yeah. We need a woolly Rygon, and they can just move the stuff around and make Ryan look however we want. I think that's money, man. You could sell those at Legion's Con, I'm sure. So,
oh yeah.
With that said, Ryan, any of those looks that really stuck out to you? Any of those that you're considering after seeing the pictures?
I'm not looking. Amber's in there dying. I'm not looking forward to any of those. Maybe the Jordan one, because I've always wanted long hair.
Yeah, that didn't look bad. Yeah, I could see you with long hair there. Yeah, that'd be good. Well, you got any toy pickups this week for us?
I don't. So I'm going to keep my face covered. So
Too
I
late.
can't
It's
do
already
it
out
anymore.
there.
All
the
right.
genie
Well, let me
back in the
throw
bottle.
myself in there. And I'm just going to say, well, before I get started, we got Big Greg. Big Greg in the house. What's up, Greg?
What up, dude?
Greg!
What up? I'm just trying to get my mic together real quick.
Beautiful. Well, we were finishing
There we go.
up toy pickup, so I'm
I
going
came
now.
right on time.
Let me blow myself up. I'm actually a little disappointed in myself, just FYI, because the only thing I have open on my desk here is this Lee J figure that I really just opened last night because I knew I was doing Dork Layer show and they were going to ask about toy pickups. And it's a lot of fun, but that's the only thing that I've opened this week because it's just been a really busy week with work. I do have some new Joes that came in, but I have not opened them yet. So I've got the Scarlet and I got the Duke. So I have not had a chance to open them yet, but I am excited to get into those.
So the I'm only collecting Cobra thing didn't last very long.
I think it lasted like 2 days. It was real short lived.
What's the point of having the bad guys if you don't have anybody from the fight?
Yeah. So
Right.
that was a stupid thing on my part. But yeah, let me throw Greg up here and let's see what things Greg's got.
I got a couple things actually.
All right.
I got this little Donatello.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's the
And,
autumn.
Yeah,
That's-
these
yeah.
are really fun little guys for what they are. A lot of cool little gadgets he comes with. And
Yeah, I like those mechanical arms. That's cool.
yeah, and then with that came the Splinter or whatever I forgot the name exactly what they call them, but
And
This
what do
is
those
really
things
cool.
run?
like $55
It's not bad.
retail. No, that's not bad. And you get the little kit that came with the little baby turtles.
Nice.
These are really cool.
Oh, nice.
Very adorable.
And then for my boy Matt Stein, he sent me out this bad boy right here.
Ooh, very
Oh,
cool.
damn.
This is really cool.
Yes.
Comes with the helmet. It's kind of hard to keep the helmet on this figure because it looks good without it. With it,
Mhm.
so I'm having a hard time debating what I'm going to do with it. And
That's
then
dope.
Mhm.
along with that, he sent me this little guy, this little head sculpt that I got because that's mainly what I do is pop different heads on kind
Right.
of bodies, and that's really fun. And I also got my Joes, but they in the other room. I also didn't open them yet. And that's it for the week.
All right. Good pickups. I've been kind of contemplating those off-brand turtles, but I don't know,
They're
man.
fun. They're fun. I got Leo coming in next week. I did
Yeah.
a little trade for that.
Nice.
And then
I'm still
pre-ordered
holding out.
Mikey.
I'm still holding out hope on the Mezco turtles. I got on the wait list. We'll see. I mean, I don't
I
think
heard
I don't think there's much of a
I saw
chance,
people
but-
posting that they're converting, so there's a high chance you
Oh, really?
might get them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that would be great.
Mhm.
Because
I saw on the
I
interwebs.
absolutely love that Donatello, and if I can get the other three, I think that would be awesome. I think it's the best thing that Mezco's done is those turtles. So, yeah, if
They
I can get the
definitely
rest
look
of that,
like it.
that'd be awesome.
yeah, they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys saw Dork Layer last night, but he had he'd opened up his set, and I guess he got this like one of those finger skateboards off of the internet, and it's like perfectly scaled for Mikey, and he had him like holding it,
Tech
so it looked awesome.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice.
All right. What are we doing next, Joe? I'm gonna put you back in charge. Shogun's live, everybody.
Oh, Joe's in charge. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Joe's in charge.
Yeah.
He's got the outline.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Joe. Yeah, Joe says, "Oh wow," too, because I had no advance notice of this for it to have any preparation time.
Sometimes you just got to throw them to the wolves and see what happens. You know.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's
see. We could do this week in theaters. We could do Event Horizon. We could do the Mysteries of Mythos, or
I'm
whatever
excited
else.
for that. I am.
Whatever you wanted to do.
Well,
I really hope that's MEH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, not Methos.
I thought that
No,
was going to be in the graphic, but it didn't make it. So.
It's like that down at the bottom.
Right.
All right.
Let's do Event Horizon. Is there anything anybody's excited for?
I mean, it's not new, but I know I've been talking to Greg too. Like, we've been really loving Shogun, and there's one more episode left, which I thought it was just 9 episodes. So the fact that there's another one coming, I'm excited. But also a little disappointed that it sounds like there's not going to be a second season. And not only does it sound like there's not going to be a second season, but it sounds like, from what Greg was talking about, that like the guy that basically is over it basically said, yeah, if you like it, go read the books. So, and that's not happening. So F that guy.
Yeah. I just hope that it's going to do really, really good, and maybe they'll push it for a second season.
Yeah.
But one could only hope.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that last one. There's the new Henry Cavill and what's his name? The Reacher guy. They've got that movie that just came out today. I saw some people going to see that. So that should be fun.
What's that?
It's the one with the really long name. I can't think of a fucking name
Something
right now.
with gentleman in the title. Right?
Yeah.
Generally something warfare, I think. Some kind of a lot of words. Too many words.
It looks good with a really long title. I'm like, it's the long title one.
That's Guy Ritchie for you.
Yeah. Which, and I love
there's
Guy
no
Ritchie
second
films.
season. That's the end of the story. So sounds like you guys are out of luck.
Yep. That's all right. We've got enough shows to watch anyways. So
for sure.
It's true.
To Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
There
you go. So we'll see. I think Jordan went to see that today. So Jordan, let us know what you thought in the comments.
Spoiler free, of course.
Yeah. Anything else? Any trailers drop or anything that you guys have seen that is worth talking about?
X-Men.
X-Men's going good.
Everybody saw X-Men? That last episode was pretty fun.
Yeah. Greg has the tendency to throw stuff out there, spoilers for people, really big, huge spoilers. Like,
listen, I can't help it, man.
Immediately after,
I shared somebody else's spoiler. It spoiled me. I said, you know what? I'm going to spoil it right back to everybody.
You're gonna spread the love. You're gonna pay the spoil. Gotcha.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right on.
But I haven't really seen much of anything else.
Yeah, I can't think of any shows right now. I did find out, like, just to lean back into Fallout, because they had where like the season on Amazon is doing fantastic. There's more fans of Fallout than ever. But before there was a Fallout show, there was a show on Amazon, well, not Amazon, on YouTube called Fallout Nuka Break, and also Fallout Red Star. And the guys that were doing that, like back in 2013 and stuff, had where they started a GoFundMe for a short movie they're doing called Fallout Breaking, and it kind of follows those characters again. And apparently it might be out by like the end of this month or the beginning of next already. So it's like a real fast turnaround time. But like, it's a lot of people have where they make a lot of props and things like that in just other movies and TV shows and in fandom. So it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids are a big fan of those. So
Trevor says there's a M. Night trailer for Trap, which I haven't seen.
Saw that trailer.
You said it looks good. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I didn't see it. Me either.
Yeah,
The trailers for M. Night Shyamalan movies usually do look good.
It's got Josh Hartnett back, and like he hasn't been.
So like
in
a
bunch of
backhanded
stuff in a
compliment.
while.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I
usually
saw
the
that.
trailers look good. The movies,
Trailers look good.
yeah.
I like Lady in the Water.
Okay, now I just don't know anymore, Joe.
Yeah. Most.
But I
most
saw the
people
trailer
don't.
for Trap, and Trap looks promising.
You gonna give us a little synopsis of what you picked up from the trailer?
Josh Hartnett has where he's taken his daughter to a pop concert, and then all the police come and encircle the concert, and no one's getting out without being checked because there is a serial killer who they've tracked to the concert, and maybe it's Josh Hartnett, maybe,
Okay.
or maybe it's a twist. Maybe it's the singer. I don't
Could there
know.
be a twist? I don't know.
Maybe there's the twist is no twist.
No twist.
I
I
mean,
doubt that.
Listen,
They're all aliens.
It's a twist.
listen, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but if I had to take one of my kids to their concerts that they like, I probably would end up murdering some people too. I'm just saying. So,
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I've heard their music and it's not music. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I saw that Eddie had commented that he started watching Halo and was really enjoying it. So,
Oh, such a
Hey,
good
man.
series.
another plug for that. I finally got around to watching the season finale of season 2,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah, I am really excited for season 3 now. This is what I've been waiting for from the beginning. It looks
Yeah.
so good.
Well, I don't want to do a full review of like Fallout because I know like Jesse and Dooch want to talk about that. But for those of you here that have finished Fallout, just spoiler free thoughts on the series so far.
I loved it. I never played the game. I think I tried to play a little bit of it and just didn't dive in too far deep. And but the show is really good. It's really
Yeah.
good. I binged it in 1 week, in like one day. I just went right through it. I'm like, next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I played the games, love the lore, all the stuff. Binged it in one day too because it was just so good, and some had where they were complaining there was a timeline issue, and then it turns out they don't know how a timeline works. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, they're not teaching timelines in school anymore, guys.
I would say for me, like I had no experience with the video games. Everything I knew was what I'd gleaned from Joe and just his loving rants about the show or about not only the show but the game series. I started out with kind of the mindset of man, these vault people are like super cool and nice, and all these other people are dangerous and fucking scary, and they're just evil. And then I ended the series thinking all the people in the outside world are pretty nice and cool, and I understand them a little bit better. And people in the vault are fucking evil and scary, and so it kind of flipped for me. But yeah, it's an interesting world that they've built throughout, the games and the series so far, and it's they've got the makings of where I think this could. There could be several seasons of this as far as I'm concerned.
Oh man, I hope so.
I
Yeah.
hope so too.
I think so because it's doing really good. So I think we got approved for 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
Now me personally, I'm a Fallout mega fan, and it's when you're a mega fan of a franchise, it's really easy to like nitpick problems with the show. You'd have to really try. I mean, it feels like they took the game and just made it real life. There's so many cool things. It's not even Easter eggs. It's the game. Like they did that good of a job. There's things like when they're walking by a bus that's full of skeletons. That's something you do in the game like all the time,
Exactly.
And it feels like the game. The show feels like the game. So if you're a fan of the games, definitely check out the show. If you haven't played the games, the show is still good. You can enjoy it. it's not like you have to be in on inside. They're not given like the wink every so often, that only the super fans get. It's like they explain the story and everything. So I think that people that aren't fans can enjoy it too.
Yeah, because like it again, like you said, it's not like little in jokes or anything like that, but they have all the Fallout stuff. They had the yum deviled eggs. They had the pre-war cars. Oh my goodness. I almost lost my stuff when that like it had the pre-war car and the door went into it forward, and then the other guy pulled up in the tiny little like Miata of future cars by him.
The
I was
Fusion
like, oh
Flea. Yeah.
yes, that thing. I was like, fuck Prius.
So let me ask you, Joe, what game should I hop in on, being that I haven't played any of the games? Like, which one should I jump in on? That's 3?
I would start with 4. Billy's right. For a single player experience, 4 is it's the newest one, and the most polished. Like Fallout 3 is really good, but it's also old.
Okay.
Like I'm a fan of Fallout 1 and 2. I played them, when they came out in like the early 2000s, but they're so old they don't stand up to modern games. Even myself, when I go back to play them, I'm like, oh, this is awkward. Just the stories are still good, but like the gameplay is so bad by today's standards that they're hard to go back to.
What's the gameplay style? Like, is it first person, third person? Like,
you can actually switch on the modern ones between first and third person, whatever you prefer.
It's really good in first person though. It's really immersive with that. It has like some base building stuff to it, kind of like like you got your own home area, and then you venture out into the wasteland from there and go back and forth, follow the storyline, get lost in the side missions that build up more of some of it's fantastic or some of it's just crazy. Yeah, it's Fallout 4 is where it's at. Don't get all the mods, but like there are a couple like quality of life mods they have on like the Xbox. And I think it also has where it's available on PlayStation as well. I don't have that. But that, and you're good to go and you can play it by yourself. 76 has where it's the one, it's the online all the time one, and you got to play with people. And I don't like people.
I do want to mention that before Billy started talking, we were at 22 viewers. We're down to 13. So I'm sorry.
Those 13 are where it at.
For all you out there that are still sticking with us, thank you. Amber, what are your thoughts on Fall? I'm sorry, you're so quiet. Rygon. Ryan, have you been checking out Fallout?
I haven't had a chance to yet.
Okay, gotcha.
I definitely am going to check it out, though.
It's definitely a good. I mean, I feel like a broken record with these video game series because every one of them lately has just been like Last of Us was great, Halo was great, Fallout's great. Like they're just hitting it out of the park with this stuff.
What about Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal was really good too. I think they stretched it out a little bit. I think it could have been like maybe 2 or 3 less episodes, but I did love Twisted Metal. I'm excited to see the next season of that.
I'm so glad it's getting another season too.
Yeah,
me too.
It's nice,
and that's like, I mean, at least these other ones are like very popular recent games. Like that one was kind of a little bit of a chance, because that's a little bit older game. Like, not everybody that would be watching the show is even old enough to have played the game. They took a little bit of a chance on that, but even that was really good. So, I mean, the Mario movie did well.
So
I mean, anything video games right now is super hot. It's like the superhero, movie age, like all of a sudden now it's the video game movie age. So
it's nice to have where video game movies now have where they're good, and it's not like another like Uwe Bowl like trash fest, blood rain garbage coming out.
I wonder if
the games are good.
Yeah,
and that helps because they're taking properties where the game is good and then doing a good conversion of it to to a different media. So I think that helps too.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna ask you a question then, Joe, because I know you're a fan of some of the Star Wars games. Do you think that they would ever do one of those in a movie format and actually make it part of that universe, like make it canon? Is there one of
Yes.
those games that you've played that you're like, if they would do this as an actual movie, it would work?
Oh, so I'm an Old Republic guy.
Mhm.
There's a lot of great Star Wars games. But I love the Old Republic setting. You know, it's 4,000 years before the movies.
Mhm.
There's just Jedi and Sith everywhere. Those trailers that I showed you, those were from that setting. And I'd love something done on that scale, you know. But like Battlefront 2, the story portion of the new Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2, was really good. I really enjoyed it. I could see that being a great series.
Yeah.
What's the new one with the redheaded kid?
Fallen
It's
Order.
in my head. Yep.
Yeah,
No.
Fallen Order. Fallen Order
And Survivor.
is
I think.
both of those games story wise are super solid.
Yeah, they're great.
And I heard it's canon too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
So I mean, and there's a new one coming out too that's supposed to be like where you KOTOR for sure. Those two games are just amazing. But there's a new one coming out too that I'm drawing a blank on what the name is, but it looks like it has a lot of potential too. So generally Star Wars games get pretty big budgets, so you know, a lot of talented people work on them. So
nice. What about
the answer is yes. I think they could pull any of them and make a really solid show or movie from.
Any other video games that you guys are very high on that you've played over the years that you just love that would be prime for like a series? We'll start with Ryan down in the corner there. Okay. Ryan, you got any video games that you think would be great for a series or a movie?
You have time to Google.
I was commenting. I'm going back to the previous episode. I still would like to see a Ghost of Tsushima series or movie.
I agree.
Yep.
Because after Shogun, I feel like whoever did Shogun, they could do that game justice. Because it was nice. Shogun's an excellent show.
Yeah.
What about you, Greg? Anything that you're really high on that's like one of your favorite video games of all time?
I mean,
you'd love to see.
I play a lot of Call of Duty, and that's pretty much every Army movie that's out.
Gotcha.
So besides the Spider-Mans that I played, but that's already coming from the movies. So,
gotcha. Billy,
I got a couple off the top of my head. There's Darkest Dungeon, which is a fun, very very stylized kind of like side scroller RPG, Lovecraftian themed a little bit, very dark. That'd be really cool. But then also if you're into like Redwall or like The Secret of Nim and stuff like that, there's this game called Tales of Iron, which would be a fantastic animated show with like a prince who had where his father was killed. He has to like fight off these frog invaders, and there's like all sorts of stuff going on there. And it's also like a little bit of like a time thing going on there where it's like, hey, it's night and castles up here, but then somewhere further down there's like actual like subway cars and things. It's like what happened? What kind of dystopia happened? It's really cool. That would be a fantastic animated movie or show.
I think I would go with Metal Gear Solid. I think that would be a good. I think there's enough story there that they could do a series. Start kind of way back in the past and like do some of the early stuff and how he became Snake and
Snake Eater.
Yeah, I think like a lot of that could be really cool, and then work into like some of the big bosses and the heroes and the heroes and villains and super powered weird mutants and the mechs and all that kind of stuff. I think it would probably be a big budget as it got later and got into more of the mech stuff. But I think early on it could be more of kind of a military, I don't know, like a hit squad type thing or something like that. So, and then Joe, I know you've got like probably 15 video games that are rolling through your head right now that you're trying to pick one. And I even left you Baldur's Gate. So,
actually, I only one, and it's an easy pick for me. And there's actually I've heard rumors that they are making a TV series of it. And I hope that those are true. Alan Wake.
Yes.
Alan Wake is so freaking good. Just an amazing story. It's
now,
horror,
didn't you say there was like a short movie or episode or something that you were going to watch on that?
Bright Falls. I watched it.
How was that?
It was good, but if you haven't played the first game, it's not going to make any sense.
Gotcha.
But it's meant to be a prequel, but I feel like if you don't kind of have an idea of what's going on, you're just going to be like, wow, this town is really weird and weird stuff is happening,
Okay.
But that's kind of the point of the game. Alan Wake is a famous writer. He's like Stephen, a version of Stephen King. He writes novels, and him and his wife are on vacation. They go to this little town in Washington State, to a lake, Cauldron Lake, and get a cabin. And he ends up finding out he has writer's block. And there's a doctor there that like specializes in curing people of writer's block. And his wife actually tricked him to go so that he would, get cured. And he gets very upset. They get in an argument. He hears her calling for help. He's like running to see what's going on. And then he wakes up in a car that's crashed. It's been a week. His wife is gone. So he goes to get help. He's like, we're on this island cabin. They're like, that island sunk in the 70s. You're crazy. So he's trying to figure out what happened to his wife, that she disappeared. He keeps finding pages to a novel that he wrote that he doesn't remember writing. And every time he reads them, what he wrote happens. So it's kind of like a horror mystery.
It sounded like you were describing Chevy Chase's Funny Farm until the car accident, and then it kind of took a different turn there.
It takes a different turn pretty quick, pretty early on. But there's some good humor in it too. But it's I don't know. It's one of my favorite video game franchises, and I think would translate. The style of the game is kind of cinematic, anyways. So I think that it would translate perfectly into a show, not a movie.
Check this out.
There's too much. There's too much for a movie, but I'd love to see a show of it. It's pretty fantastic.
How about that game Oddworld? Is it Oddworld or something with that little creepy little character?
Where it's got the fart button. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a cool idea.
What you're talking about. I just heard fart button, so I'm in.
It's Oddworld, and I think the only one I really remember is was it Munch's Odyssey, where it has like the fish.
Yeah.
One where it's just like. And it has where he's the last of his kind. He's just like, I kept calling out, but nobody called back. It's just so sad. Oh, that'd be a good one for Amazon to make, since it has where it's a lot of corporation stuff in it, which also was very ironic with Fallout 2 the whole time. I was just like, oh God, Amazon, you're Vault-Tec.
Maybe that's what they're telling us. Maybe it's our hidden messages from Amazon.
You better invest in that vault as soon as they post it, because
All right. Well, I think it's time. We've made people suffer through 50 minutes of this. Let's get into some mystery. Mysteries of Mythos. So starting out, we get the little grid. Nobody knows what it is. We got a week of everybody throwing out their guesses. Before we talk about the actual reveal and what the event is, what were you guys' thoughts on the hype? What was the were you guys happy? Were you frustrated? Were you didn't care? Like what are your feelings on?
I enjoyed the reactions.
What's that, Greg? Sorry.
I enjoyed the reactions and the guessing. This is just before the reveal, but it was just the colors and everybody guessing of what's what and what could it be? Is it QR code? Or, it was fun.
Gotcha, Billy.
I loved the guessing too. Like when it first came up, I thought before the faction symbols, like he said, I was like, oh, maybe it's a QR code. I'm like, nah, this don't work. But then Dork Layer brought it up again. And he said grayscale, and if I didn't have where I went in there and made it grayscale just to check, I'm a rube. But then it was the number of like the faction symbols and just figuring that out and just kind of it progressed a little bit. If they could have drawn it out like another week and made us even crazier, I would have loved it.
I'll say that like early on, I got a message from Len, and he had the picture up there with the grid, and he's like, if you move all the blue squares down and to the left, and then you move the black squares up and to the right, you get this. And then he sent me, and it was just a picture of Cookie flicking me off. So like, oh, all right. Well,
that's solid. That's
there
solid.
You go. Yeah. Okay. Joe, what were your thoughts? I know you're not like, you know, you've been so busy at work and stuff. You probably haven't been spending a ton of time on social media, but what were your thoughts of the whole?
Well, I saw, I saw that when they posted it, and I immediately thought, ooh, I wonder what it is. And then I also am aware that I'm terrible at puzzles. So I made zero guess and attempts to figure it out.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like the alien from Space Invaders. You know,
nice.
I keep making that joke, and I feel like I'm old.
No, I'm with you. I'm the same age. So
right. But so I thought, hey, maybe Cosmics are coming to Mythos, and we're gonna have some cross branding here. Maybe that was the closest thing to like a real guess that I had, and then I thought, yeah, probably not. I'll just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody was going to guess it, but I did see that, you know, John Caulfield said that it was potentially graphics for the video game, which I thought, you know, was pretty spot on. So, being as that it was very pixelated and 8-bit. Ryan, what about you? What about as far as the hype leading up? What were your thoughts?
So I like seeing everyone's guesses, but as far as me trying to figure it out, I don't even bother because I end up getting frustrated as fuck trying to play the guessing game with everyone else. But I mean, I think it's what it ended up being. I think it's pretty cool that some people who weren't in on the first Kickstarter get a chance to get some of these older figures that
Whoa,
are.
hey now, we haven't talked about the reveal yet. Calm down. We're talking
fast
about
forwarding.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fast forwarding. I'm moving the conversation.
Prepare to fast forward. Yeah. So my take, and this is probably I'm on an island by myself, and that's okay.
No, you're not. There's nobody like you.
I think the hype was way too much for what we ended up getting. I think that Jeremy and the studio, they do a good job of getting people excited for stuff. And I think that it was a lot. And not only that, but just the way that and this is going to be putting on my Pete McCarthy hat for a second. I think when stuff like this happens, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's people complaining about, breakages on their Poxus wave, or it's this kind of stuff and guessing, no matter whether you consider it a positive thing or a negative thing, when you've got 1 million people making posts that are the exact same, it totally bogs down the community to where the other stuff gets buried. All the photography, all of the customs, all of the, people that are looking for a certain item or people that are looking to make trades, like all the other stuff gets buried by this. And it would be nice if there was like one place that like one thread that was like, hey, here's the mysteries of Mythos. Everybody, if you got some comments on it, you got your guesses, whatever, throw it here. Boom. It's one post. And if you don't care about it, you can scroll on and see all the stuff that you're looking for. Instead, it just becomes like a week of just that. And, you know, like if I'm looking for, you know, stuff for shelf selections and I'm trying to see who's being creative and I'm trying to help people out that are looking for individual parts, like all that stuff gets completely buried. So that's just my personal thoughts. And maybe it's, you know, part of it being an admin, just like trying to, you know, get everything to, I don't know, run and making sure that people's things are seen. But that was my frustration with it. Let's see. Trevor saying just spent too much time complaining about the discussion. It seemed longer. Okay. So that was my thoughts leading up to it. Then we get it and they show this image without the yellow. I added the yellow later. But they showed this image first, which was the, you know, kind of the 36 squares that we got. And we find out that it is, you know, this mixtory box that's going to be for $75 plus $9.99 shipping in the continental US. You will get one of these figures, which is considered something old. And then you get one of the newer figures, like within the last couple year figures, that'll be paired with it. So you're going to, for $75, you get a box with two figures, one of these, and then one of the other ones.
Something old, something new, and the next one will be something borrowed, something blue. So
yeah, and then the last
just
one,
like
it'll just everybody gets a blue Hagnon. Yeah,
blue Hagnon, and then it's just like a Glyos figure.
So just following the chain of events. So we did the grid. We had everybody's guesses. We get this reveal. So ignore the yellow boxes for right now. Just the overall image with all the pictures. We don't know what the other figures are at this point. When you saw this, what are your thoughts? We'll start at the bottom. We'll start with Ryan.
So I jumped ahead already. I thought it was a cool way for people to get these figures.
Yeah. And so you saw this list and you're just like winners all around. Is that basically what you're saying?
I wouldn't necessarily say every figure on here is a winner, but I'd say a lot of them are.
Okay.
They got some, especially like Gonks and is
that because his name is almost Rygon? It's just
Rygonks.
Yeah, part of it in it. Rygonks. Is that what? Can we call him Rygonks from now on?
Call him Rygonks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
give him a mustache.
Okay.
And then Thistlethorn too, but I mean not 24 Thistlethorn, but he's up there.
There might only be 24 Thistlethorn available for this.
There you
Maybe
go.
they bought it from Big Bad Toy Stores so they could sell it.
They bought it a few years ago. They got the 24 just so they could do this now.
Just had
yes.
So Greg, I don't know what kind of knowledge you had going into this versus, whether you're waiting for releases and things like us. But when you first found out about these 36, what was your thoughts on these 36?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I didn't know. The first time I found out was when we got the trailer of some of these, and I was like, oh. And it was me and George in the truck, and I'm like, oh, I didn't really. Oh, we're just going through layers. I'm like, oh, this guy's here. Oh, Fury. Oh, okay, this is what we're doing. And then
very nice.
He kind of gave me a little breakdown of what, but then I saw everything else that is very limited and that they're going to be doing. Because I asked, I was like, can I have something? And they're like, no. I said, okay.
All right, Billy, you see the 36, and what are your initial thoughts when you see the 36?
My initial thoughts were like, which ones are reruns? Which ones are warehouse finds? I don't know. Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was excited. I was like, okay, they're not all the figures I thought that might show up, but like they're all good figures, quality figures. So I was excited. Positive.
Okay.
Positive.
I will say my initial reaction was not great. My initial reaction was, this is not for me. It's cool for for newer folks in the line, but this is not for me. There's like maybe 4 figures on here that I don't have, and even those I'm not like super desperate for. So, you know, and then the fact that we don't know at the time, this is me thinking at the time, the fact that we don't know which ones were reproduced versus which ones were warehouse finds. On the warehouse finds, we don't know whether it's, you know, like for Thistlethorn, is there 1 of them? Is there 9 of them? Is there 48 of, like, we don't know. So there was so much unknown to this, including what the other figures were that they're going to partner up with this, that I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get, you know, what, like everybody's going to get a bryophytus, and they're going to get one of these guys. And it, so initially I was not, this was not for me. I was excited for people that were happy about it, but this was not for me. That changed as they, you know, gave more information, which we'll talk about. But when I first looked at this, I was like, yeah, I'm not in. Joe, your thoughts when you saw the 36?
Yeah, it was positive. I look at the graphic and I don't see any figures on here that are bad. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed to pull any figures. Of course, you know, I have preferences and things like that, you know, for ones that I would like to get.
Right.
There won't be any. I won't open the box and go, oh man, I got a blah. Like every figure on the list is a good figure. So positive. And I was immediately happy for the newer collectors.
Right.
You know, I think this is a great opportunity for them. Whatever they get, they're getting a good figure, in my opinion.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that was one of the things, like, you know, for me, like I thought back to like Curtis joining the line in 21, like when I first joined the line, the only thing that was available to pre-order were the Tactics figures, which, you know, I didn't know at the time that was going to take 5 ever to get out. And you know, there was nothing else that was on pre-order. There was nothing else really coming up. There was nothing that was available besides a few figures that were on Big Bad Toy Store. And then whatever you would buy from eBay at ridiculous prices, because the market was super high at that time with COVID money. So if something like this happened in 21 when I was getting in the line, oh yeah, I would have been over the moon. So more than excited for newer fans coming in and having this chance. It's such a great deal, especially with the combined shipping, you know, where you can, you know, order basically as many of these as you want into the US and still pay $9.99 shipping. It's like, man, that's ridiculous. So, but for me, I looked at this and I was like, it's not for me. Now, that being said, well, then they tell us which ones they reproduced, which I think adds to this. So the ones in yellow here with the boxes and they're kind of highlighted yellow are the ones that are reproduced. And I would say for me, the ones that I consider to be kind of heavy hitters, the ones that I would want, are mostly in that yellow. So, I mean, Brother Mandibulus is a lot of people's favorite figure. Like he's just a badass. Kador has been wanted for a while. He came really close on an all-star vote a few years back, and he's one that people have been asking for. Calavius is probably my top 5 all figures ever made. Like, I love Calavius. I wish we would have at some point got the other arm for him so that, you know, we could make other customs that have both bare arms, but I digress. Red Shield Soldier is, I personally don't have a love for Red Shield Soldier, but I know a lot of people do. Like,
it was a sleeper, honestly.
Yeah, he has a lot of parts and stuff to him, and people do love it. I think for me, I think it's a terrible figure. I don't like it at all, but I do know that people love it.
Yeah. I'm one of those.
His hype wasn't quite Valiant Knight, but everyone was like, I need him. I gotta have him.
Yeah.
For a minute there.
Well, nobody was like that when he was on pre-order, but yeah, as soon as it hit, then people were like scrambling. You know, it's one of those where, like, as soon as it landed,
he was one of the first ones I sold out of that wave.
Yeah, because it was under ordered and then people were chasing it. But the Shadow Elves, both of them, I'm not a huge fan of those, so it doesn't do anything for me. But I know that there are people that love those and like building out those, so that's cool. Snag is a huge one. Like, dude, people have been asking for Snag forever. Like that, if that was just in an all-star vote, like last year, like it would have won hands down. It would have been like a runaway. So I think
So
that's
good.
a great one. Fury Clan is always good to throw in there. Sir Godfrey for me is, yeah, like that's my main one. So we talked about Gonks is amazing. The only miss I think on this list that pretty much universally, almost across the board, with the exception of one person in the Cabal, that I think is a miss is the Hagnon, because we just got the blue Hagnon. The other Hagnon had been pretty readily available even up to like last year, so it's not like it's been hard to get. So I think people that end up with Hagnon probably aren't going to be the most happy on these ones that were reproduced, but all the rest of them I think are absolute fire. So what about you guys? And we'll just kind of open this up to anybody. As far as the ones that were reproduced, are there any in there that you guys absolutely love, or any that you don't like in there?
I absolutely love Kador and like a lot of those first wave figures, because if it had where that was a warehouse find, I'd been worried about like, some of the
One or
joints.
two, or
Well, the joints and stuff back then, but now that like
that
it's
too.
reproduced, I'm like, if I got any of the 2.0s out of the reruns, I'd be happy with it because I know they're going to be sturdier than ever. The 1.0, same thing. The paint jobs will be better, stuff like that. I think the one that I was like, oh, they're finally going to do that is like Zarya again. I know she's like the only kind of female demon, so I can understand. But I'm like, was there like they wanted it that much to get her back out there? So that was cool.
I think it makes sense with just getting Azahazar and Poxus being really big and stuff. I think, for people that are just let's say in the last 2 years you just got in the line and you got an Azar and a Zazar through some all-star waves. You just got Azahazar. And this is a way to kind of close out that demon collection. I think that's a good reproduction. I think that's a solid choice. What about you, Greg? Anything on here that you, as you're unloading the truck, that you were like, this is absolutely fire? And is there anything on there that you're like, yeah, this is terrible?
Really terrible. I mean, Hagnon maybe the least favorite of mine out of all of this, but I was excited for Snag, Red Shield, the Red Demon Chick. That's the Gonks. I mean, there's a lot of them in here. That's like, I was like, oh man, this is really cool. That the opportunity for everybody to get these again.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is, even if you get something you don't want, so many people are going to get these that you're going to be able to trade for the one that you might want. And it's going to build the community a little bigger now for newer people to get involved with the trades and reaching out to other people and stuff like that. That's really what it's about, I think.
I think somewhat that will happen, but I think there's also I think there's going to be a lot more that doesn't happen. I think there's going to be more people selling their figures than there are going to be trading their figures, because like if you, let's say you end up with a Vampire Knight and somebody else ends up with Dark Shadow Elf, I think they'll probably trade you, no problem. But if you end up with a Hagnon and somebody ends up with a Kador, they're not trading you for that. Like I don't see too many people that are going to trade a nearly $300 figure for a figure that not a lot of people want. So there's going to, I think with these, because of the market for these things, I think there's going to be less trading than you might think. I think there's going to be more people selling and then turning around and looking to buy the one that they're looking for. But this is something that was brought up last night on Dorklair's show, and I think he's dead on. That's why you make friends in the community. That's why you build relationships with people, because if you have those relationships and people know that you're interested in such and such character, like they're already going to be on the lookout for you. And you've got some people that have already had conversations already before they've even, the sale doesn't even go live till Monday, and there's people who have already had these conversations ahead of time. So I think some of that's going to be there. But I think it's going to be more between friends in the community that have already talked. So if there's anybody out here listening that is looking for a certain figure, go to the Cabal, make some friends, go to Legion's Con, go to a show. Like, this is why you get yourself involved in the community, because it helps. You can help other people. They can help you. It works out for everybody's benefit. So
I agree 100%. Like whoever's getting King Bromden isn't going to trade him for a Fury Orc off of here, because now they know that's the warehouse find, that's the rerun. You do have to get your friends in there. I got my friend.
Unless you know somebody. Like if
Yeah.
I know, if I know that let's say somebody is really looking for a Fury Orc and they get the Bromden and they know I'm literally looking for the Bromden and we're friends, like that trade's probably going to happen. But you're right. If it's just like it's Joe Schmo on the Cabal trying to trade with some other person that they don't know and they're trying to get references for, you're probably going to take some sort of, value of the figure into account. So
that's why I got like my friend Eric in Norway. We're going in for 5 of these. I want Kador. He wants like Snag and stuff out of there, like is his tops. So whoever, if it's in there, he gets first pick for that. I get first pick for Kador. Works out.
Well, listen, this is where you start the group chats where
I'm crushing her sand castles. So, listen, I'm not trying. Listen, there are going to be some avenues for trade, but you're going to have to know people. You're going to have to be in the community. You're going to have to be part of it. If you don't ever post in the Cabal, you don't ever like people's posts, you don't ever comment, you're just in there to see when events happen. And now all of a sudden you get this and try to trade it. You're probably not going to find good trade partners, especially if you've got one of the lesser valued figures. But that should just encourage you to be more involved in the community. So, Ryan, go. Yeah. What
I was just gonna to tag on to that too. I would encourage people to be kind.
Oh yeah.
I have traded many rare, expensive figures to people for a Legion builder just to help them out.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can tell you right now, if I get those dark shadow elves,
gold skeleton.
if I get those dark shadow elves, I'm giving them away to somebody that I know that likes them.
Skeleton.
I'm not even going to try to trade it or anything. I'm just going to give it away because I don't like them, and I know there's other people that love them. So
I love them.
Yeah. So if you get a figure that you don't need and somebody else is looking, help them out. That passes on. That creates a better community, if we can all be kind to each other, in my opinion. So I just wanted to add
and that's what the community started off as, and that's kind of, now that we got so big, it can start building new little cliques and new people interacting with each other,
Well, and speaking of those cliques, that can work out to your benefit too. Like, let's say that you get a vampire and you're not a vampire person. Go over to the brood board. Say, hey, I got this vampire. Anybody got this other thing that they're getting? You get a goblin and they're not your thing. Go over to the malignancy board. I'm sure you can trade one over there. So I some of that can kind of be to your advantage as well. But I'm sorry, Ryan, what were your thoughts when they showed the ones that were reproduced? Any in there that you absolutely love? Any of them that you're not fond of?
So the one I'm not fond of is Hagnon. I've never seen like why he had any hype. I thought, in my opinion, and I know it's the internet and everyone has a fucking opinion, but I just
get him off of here. Get him off of here right now.
How dare you have an opposite opinion?
Now he wants to talk.
I just think he's lackluster. But the one that I was looking forward to was Kador and Faunus. Those are the two that I would really want.
Nice.
Other than that, just because I love Faunus's color scheme, man, it really pops. Love that green and orange.
Yeah, some of these I want to get to replace not my older ones with better joints.
Yeah,
because my Faunus is like he's already like leaning on everybody just so I can keep him standing.
Yeah. Well, I think if I ended up with a Hagnon, I'm pretty sure I would dye it. I don't think I would buy one specifically to dye it, but if I ended up with one sent to me, like that would be like me going, okay, well, now it's time to make a project out of this. I saw some people saying like it would be a cool thing to just, let's say you order one of these mystery boxes and you get one of these figures and one of the other ones that we're going to look at, just to try to pop and swap the two that you get and see what you can come up with. Like it's like a mystery challenge, you know,
Ooh,
is
yeah,
where you can take it.
It's a faded
so-
pop and swap.
Yeah, like
Well,
you know,
to me,
so-
like Hagnon's cool if you change the armor pieces and put like actual armor pieces
Yeah.
on them.
Mhm.
It changes the whole look and then it
Well-
gives it a much cooler look. I did that to both of mine.
yeah, and
the
I've
blue
seen
one
some
and the regular
people take the armor off the Hagnon, especially the blue Hagnon, and put it like mix it with some like wizards and stuff, and it gives it like this really cool magic look to it.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's some creative things that you can do. I would challenge anybody, especially if you're a creative type person that likes to do, you know, pop and swaps, customs, things like that, that even if there's something on this list that, you know, is not your favorite and you get it, you know, try to make, you know, lemonade with the lemons and see if there's something cool that you can create out of it, because, you know, sometimes the biggest disappointments in life turn out to be, you know, pretty cool, and we can make some cool things out of it. We blow up.
I'm
things.
I
actually
like that.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yes.
And,
that would
and see,
be
the
awesome.
flip of that is if you now take that armor and put it on somebody else, like a wizard or something,
Correct.
then it again gives it a magic effect. So
I did it with the blue one too. The blue one came out really cool too.
Ooh, neat.
yeah, see, that looks
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
And I've
probably
also seen some
better
people
one.
that like have painted that face, and it gives it this like really like zombie-ish look to it.
Well, you're gonna get that in the Necronominus wave.
Right.
so
Um,
I'm actually hoping for a Hagnon because
Mhm.
I have alcohol inks and I use them to color some translucent wings on a custom that I did, and it
Mhm.
worked so well taking them from pink to yellow. I
Mhm.
Well,
really
Joe,
want
if
to
you
try
don't,
them on.
let me
on
know. I got an
Hagnon
extra
because-
one.
Yeah, it's still translucent too, so he would still glow in the dark. So I'm just curious to see how that would work. So
Yeah.
I'm actually kind
s-
of hoping I snag one.
You gotta
Steph
get
is
your-
asking, how do you supercharge Hagnon? Hers doesn't glow. Any tips for a Hagnon user?
You got to get that black light off of Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like a little flashlight for
Yeah.
finding scorpions and stuff, is what Cullen says he uses it for, besides supercharging Hagnon. But yeah, one of those.
Yeah. And then Trevor here says Joe Vaspola said he's going to come into play with the zombie set. So you kind of mix and match with that zombie set. That would be kind of cool too. So
Those ghost parts from that zombie set, like the
Oh,
smoke
yeah.
coming out of the eyeballs and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually
I
bought
can't
2
wait.
extra blue Hagnons just for those parts.
Oh,
nice.
I can't wait for
Um,
the
and-
Necro wave.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, like, you know, so we've hit everybody else. What were your thoughts once you saw the ones that were reproduced? And we know there's, you know, potentially going to be more quantities of these figures than the other ones. What was your thoughts on this list that's in the yellow?
My initial thought was, wow, they're re-releasing Advent of Decay, because like what everyone except for 3, I think, are Advent of Decay figures.
It was a big wave.
It was a big wave, and it was a great wave. I mean, I was happy for everybody. My thoughts for myself is there's a lot of cool Legion builders on there,
Mhm.
which I like. I like to have multiples of every Legion builder, you know.
Mhm.
So that was something that I immediately, you know, I was thinking like I could use another red shield soldier or a dark elf warrior or a Fury Clan orc. You know, those are all things that I could right out of the box throw on my shelves, you know, and just add to the numbers that are there already. So I was excited about that. Then you know, I often kind of feel bad because I have them all and I know so many people don't,
Mhm.
that there was immediately some that people had mentioned to me that they wish they had this figure or that figure that was on the list. If I get it and they don't, I might, you know, be able to help them out, you know, that kind of stuff. So that popped in my head early on too.
Well, you over here hooking people up with Ethlon, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I had a spare, and oddly enough, somebody had actually asked for his box, the Etheron box, but not the figure. They already had it. They just didn't have a package for it. So I had given away the packaging for it. Trevor on his show was like, I'm looking for an Etheron if anybody has one. And I was like, yeah, I have one loose, you know, because it was just in a Ziploc bag in a box.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my spare figures collect dust. I initially get them because I have a custom in mind or something like that, or a display that I want to do. And then after a couple years, it's like, well, I'm probably never going to do that, you know, or get around to doing that.
Yeah.
Might help somebody out, you know, if I can.
So for me, like even once they did this one, I was, you know, now I'm kind of on the fence at this point because the reproduced figures I thought were more in my wheelhouse. But still, there's only like 3 on this list. I think Grisha, Godfrey, and Kador that would actually just go straight into my collection. Everything else would either have to be some sort of, you know, custom or giveaway or something like that. Like there's nothing else on this list besides those 3 that would actually just go on the shelf.
So Curtis, who are you missing to complete the line?
I'd have to look. I'm not even close to completing the line, but
Okay.
on this from this list, it's just those 3 and Balam. I don't have a Balam either. So really those 4 are the only ones on this list that I don't have. But I mean, I think there's a lot of these, whether it's in the yellow or even the ones out of the yellow. So like Delphina, I absolutely love. I would do something with that. I would make another female Templar. Thalen, I think, is one of the best figures they've ever made. I absolutely adore that figure, and that color armor is so unique that I would definitely do something with that. I mean, there's some fire stuff on here, but those 3 or 4 that I don't have are the ones that would go straight on the shelf. So, and still at this point, like even once they showed the reproduced ones, my thoughts were okay, but I don't know what kind of, in my mind, what kind of peg warmers they're going to throw in with this. And then they show the next list, which is this one here. And I'll say, I don't think this is peg warmers. Like, you can say what you will about a few of these, but, and I know there's a lot of all-stars on here and stuff like that, but like, I think Malphar is amazing. Scaphoid is something that, you know, people have been, they love that bone color, and they, you know, that's a well sought after figure. You know, Vitus, Vegemitis, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't see, like, since that all-star where he was released, I don't see much of a demand for him. But whatever. The Banana Demon, like, I think there's some cool things, especially with Cosmic, like that you could do pop and swap wise with that body. That would be awesome. Dubon's amazing. Ilgar has, I'm not an Ilgar fan in general, but I think his body has potential to do things with. Avarona's awesome. I love Okiedas. I know he gets some heat, but I think he's
least favorite.
Awesome.
Romulus.
The Romulus, I think the All-Star Romulus is actually better than the original Romulus. The paint apps are much cleaner. It like sticks out more. Swig, and you know, I mean, we just got all these like Poxus things and the magic effects and stuff. I think that he works well with that. You got the Xylonian Guard, which is an amazing figure with that awesome shield. The Xenothon, I know, you know, he doesn't get a lot of love himself, but I love gray dwarves, and he's a great source of parts for gray dwarves.
If you swap the armor pieces with the gray orc head, like I got my guy back here that I made, and he came out really, really cool.
Let me blow Greg up there. Yeah, that looks awesome. So, you know, I love me some gray dwarves, so I think that's a good source for that.
And the wings.
And you get a set of wings. Like that one just comes with a lot of value because of the wings and everything too, and you know, 2 heads and so
people can figure out what those back adapters are for a minute.
Artemis is not only a great figure, but a very important character of the line. So, you know, she's somebody that now keep in mind, these are the extras. Like this is not the good stuff, so to speak. This is like the extra stuff. And you're getting a faction leader a second version that is just, you know, badass. Then you got Baron Voligar, another second version of a figure with the soft goods and all these cool parts. Like, you know, so I mean, you could just go like one by one through here. Krotos is great. Like I know the dwarf guys love the Krotos body and that, you know, just the that head is just super cool. Bardrick is one of my wife's favorites. Like, she absolutely loves that. Valak is another one that's a really good figure, especially for customizing with the black arms and legs and the swappable torso. You've got the Uit Praetorian figure that you know, another great value figure. It has a lot of parts in there, different heads options, and you know, feet and hands and everything else. And then we get to the others. You know,
you can't have everything else without eating your vegetables.
Yeah. I will say I actually have I've found a newfound fondness of Bryophytus. Initially I did not like that figure, but lately I've been finding myself just looking at it, and I actually picked up one in the in-stock sale just to open up, have as is, because there's something striking about it when you just look at it. So I'll just throw that out there. But and then Mephitor, I bought a bunch of them during the in-stock sale because they're good for making, you know, gnomes with. There's just no.
Plus, it comes with that black little goblin head.
Yeah. And like, if you're not going to use it as a goblin or whatever, you know, people are definitely in demand for that Thistlethorn type head. You know, you can move that pretty easily. And then
for Halloween.
Yeah. Sir Owain, I don't see a lot of love out there for that figure. It's, you know, it's fairly basic, but it's a solid regular basic knight if you need one. And then Tibius, you know, compared to the stuff we're getting in Necronominus, it's not amazing, but he's an okay figure. His cape is a joke compared to the software goods we get today. It's like sandpaper. It's like see-through sandpaper, but you know, it is what it is. So my thoughts were that this list definitely sold me that, you know, even for your veterans, you know, this mystery box is way worth it. For the list that we saw on the previous page and the list here, like it's winners. There's no losing box that you're gonna get that you're not gonna come out financially ahead, or you know, come out with something cool that you can play with. So I think this is a win for anybody. That said, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. They're not forcing you. I do think that the hype was more than what the result was. I think they probably could have toned that down a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think this is well worth $75 plus, you know, $9.99 shipping for as many as you want to throw in there. And it's just a cool little fun thing. So, Greg, thoughts once you got the whole reveal and you knew, you know, the new stuff, the old stuff, the re-release stuff, the reproduced stuff, thoughts on the whole thing?
I think it's cool as hell. Even for people that have all these figures, no matter what you get, the pop and swap possibilities with all these parts is really where it's at. Because pretty much don't matter what you get, you can use the parts for something. You know?
Yeah. Billy?
I think once everything was revealed, there was a ton of hype for it, and I feel like that's more because it's part of the anniversary. It's part of the 10-year anniversary. That's why the hype was there. But I think you can't go wrong with it if you do go with it, because either way, you're getting your money's worth. You're walking away with something. It's not a gamble. You're getting something. You're getting your money's worth.
It's not a gamble in that you can lose, but it's a gamble that you could potentially win bigger than other people, you know, like, especially for your individual one. Like, if you're not looking at value, if you're not looking at, like, most of us aren't getting these figures to sell. So if you take value out of it and you just look at, like, which ones am I interested in? It's a gamble for the fact that you don't know if you're going to end up with something you absolutely love, or if you're going to end up something that you just kind of like. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get something good. And the value of what you're buying is going to be there.
And the fun of a mystery, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Especially if you do a little, like, you know, challenge to yourself that, hey, whatever comes in these two boxes that I get, or, you know, two figures that I get in this box, I'm going to try to mix and match them and come up with something new. Like, you can come up with, or you know, if I get this figure, I'm going to do this new technique to customize it that I've never tried before, or whatever. So yeah, just be creative with it. Joe, once you got everything, I mean, I know you were in right from the get-go. Like Four Horsemen say we're offering something, Joe Gonzalez is in. But after you saw the 36, you saw the reproduced, you saw the figures they were throwing in from the newer side, what are your overall feelings of everything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely that guy, you know, the all-in guy. But there's not a bad figure on either list. Like however many I end up buying, I'm gonna win. Whatever I pull out, I feel content that I'm gonna find a use for. Now, you know, I like to customize too. I know, like I used like my spare Bardrick for a custom, and then they released that Justin head, and I was like, oh man, I need to get another one because I need that torso. I want to make it as close to the images, you know, that they showed of their version of them as I can. So I have a Krotos. Be cool to pull a Bardrick, but I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't. But that's where my head went right away. Dubon is one of my favorite figures in the line. I don't feel like I could have too many Dubon. And then there Malifar. I already have a ton of Malifars, and you know, doing his swarm, that was one of the fun things that I did, was just painting up different demon heads so that way his swarm is unique. You know, each one has a unique head.
I think he got overshadowed a bit just because that Arethyr wave was so freaking good. I mean, between Arethyr himself, Belphegor, you had Magnus, you had the Vorthog in there. Like, there's some really heavy hitters. Yeah. And I think it made it to where Malifar was kind of didn't get near as much of the hype as those guys did, but it's a great figure. And it's got those unique wings that you don't have anywhere else, and that tail, like it is really cool.
He just looks like a little jerk. I love him.
He looks like a little jerk. Again, there it is. That's the tagline. One of my Malifar. He looks like a little jerk.
One of my favorite figures for sure. But even the Sir Wayne, you know, I've got some 3D printed pauldrons and heads and things that just need a base body, you know, that I think would look great on Sir Wayne if I painted him up.
See, I think my thing with that one, when like, because it's such a good just base knight, I think I just ordered a shit ton when it hit All Stars, and I think I've still got like 6 or 7 out in the garage. So yeah, it doesn't really do a lot for me, but yeah.
Darklead did this one, and I had to throw one into my collection. Really cool.
Yeah, that's a good swap. I like that a lot.
It's up there with red and black swaps.
Yeah.
So that's my final thoughts. Is I feel like I can't lose. Whatever I get, I'm going to be thrilled with.
Joe's winning. He is hashtag winning, people.
It's all about your mindset. Yeah.
And Ryan, what about you? After you saw this one, and so now you know which figures are older, which ones are reproduced, which ones are the newer ones that are thrown in. What are your overall thoughts once everything was revealed?
So I agree with Joe. It's, except for Hagnon, it's a win-win. And if you get a figure that you aren't too happy with, I know a place that you could repaint it at Sundays at 1:00.
There you go. Yeah, join us in the customizing studio. Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern. However, I will not be there this week because Jesse and I have a special show at 1 p.m. Eastern this Sunday. Shooting the Shelf is going live early with the Swedes. So nice. Tomas and Emil will be on with us, and we'll be talking with the Swedes. Unfortunately, I have a job thing that I got to do on Sunday night. We're like changing over this like basically operating system type thing that we're doing. It's like a once in a generation kind of thing, and I've got to be there for a bunch of testing, so we can't go live at our normal time. So we're going live early, but somebody will be there to start the studio. If you're interested in being creative with a bunch of folks that are also being creative, hit them up. I'm sure they'll make a post on Sunday and get that started for you. I did want to do one more thing before we get off of Mysteries of Mythos.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool.
Get off
So I
Mythos.
want to hear what everybody's best box would look like and what everybody's worst box would look like. So starting with Greg, what is the figure that you would, if you ordered one mystery box, that's all you ordered, what is the best figure from this list that you would want to get with it?
Torgan.
Okay, so Torgan from this one, and then what
Yeah.
from this one?
I'll take another Dubon.
Okay, Torgan and Dubon. Billy, best figure from this list.
It's tough between Brother Mandibulus and Kador, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say Kador.
Okay, and then from that one,
Ooh, it's tougher with this one because I have them. I have all these, but it's just like, what extra would I want to mess around with? Maybe Baron Voligar 2 because the armor is unique.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Joe
is really cool.
Yeah, this first one is probably the toughest for me. Boy, there's a lot of great figures on there.
There is.
I guess Snag would probably be my number one pick, just because there's going to be so many people that want him.
Okay.
You know,
and then
he's a great figure.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And yeah, and this one's easy for me, Bardrick, because I need one. Like I said, when that Justin head gets here, I want to do a pop and swap, you know, as close to the official images as I can get, and that Bardrick torso is on there, so
Gotcha.
I need a spare Bardrick, so that would be my pick. But again, random, roll the dice, whatever popped up. Even Grisha, I had two of them, and my dog chewed one up.
Oh
man!
Oh no!
So you know, I still have one on my shelf, but yeah, he got sacrificed to the canine gods.
Did your dog tell you if it tasted like a girl or a boy?
My dog thought that he was quite masculine.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Tastes like plastic to me.
Well, it's funny because he only chewed from the waist down, so I'm guessing, and it's a female dog, so
it's a boy. Right? It's a boy.
We just had a gender reveal party for Grisha. Ryan, you get one mystery box. What is the one figure from this list that you want to be in there?
You don't even have to switch to the other one. It's Kador and Xylernian Guard, hands down.
Very nice. Okay. Xylernian Guard and Kador. Okay. I think for me, I'm going to go a little bit. My favorite figure from this list would to have in my collection would be Sir Godfrey, but I think what I would want to see on my box, because it's not a reproduced figure, and I think there's going to be less of them, is Grisha. I think I'd rather get a Grisha if I was to order one. I think I'd rather have it be Grisha, and then I would chase down a Godfrey from somewhere else. And then on this list, I think I'm going to. Man, that Uit Praetorian is a great one, but I think I'm going to go with Billy and go with Baron Voligar 2, just because that's one that I didn't get any extras of because it's so unique. And I think if I got that, I could do some cool stuff with that armor. And then the fur is never. I mean, I always take some extra fur. That's cool.
Oh yeah,
so.
Yeah, because I think it was Dennis Derby who painted up the chest plate different, and I was just like, oh, I wish I had another one.
Yeah. We got from the chat. If anybody else wants to throw theirs out there from the chat, go ahead. Trevor says Torgan and Xylernian Guard. And in true Trevor fashion, because he can't ever just give one answer, he said, or Kador and Xylernian Guard.
I'm with him on the Kador and Xylernian. That'd be my second choice.
Yeah, Kador and Xylernian would be a great one. So But we're gonna go reverse order back up. So Ryan, starting with you. Oh no, I guess I was the last one. So starting with me. What would be my worst box? Okay. I'm thinking for this one, I think it's got to be Hagnon. Just because at least with the Shadow Elves, I don't like them, but I could find somebody that does need one. With Red Shield Soldier, I don't like it, but I think I could find somebody that needs one. With Hagnon, I think it's just universally just going to be a so unless Cullen starts army building and needs like 200. So I'm going to say Hagnon on this one. And then for this list, I think I'm going to go with Surawane just because I got so many and I really just don't need more of them. So, Ryan, what is your worst box that you could get?
Hagnon for sure.
Okay.
Bryophytus. I don't like it. I deflocked the one I had.
Nice.
Oh God, it's like skinning him.
Yeah, essentially that's what happened.
Oh,
Joe, I know you're gonna say they're all great, but what's the worst box you could get?
I guess I'm gonna go with the Vampire Knight if I have to pick one.
Okay.
He's the anorexic vampire knight. You know what I mean? Like
like
already
blood,
they always fall too. They always fall.
Yeah.
Well, see, I put stands on all my figures, so that's never goes into the equation. Like none of my figures ever fall because I have them all on stands.
as long as they're the official 4-H stands, I'm right there with you.
No, I actually
You're breaking kayfabe. You're breaking kayfabe.
The Kaiser stands. I only use the 4-H stands for ogre scales.
Give it up. No,
stop it.
Perfect for ogre.
Pushing the stands.
We're losing viewers.
Pushing the stands.
Abandon ship.
Push the stands.
Right.
Somebody get the lifeboat.
And,
all right, and your worst figure from this list, Joe.
Gosh, that's tough. I guess the Banana Demon. I mean, I already have him, you know, and I have wings for him. You know, I had the original, so he would definitely just be a custom. But I mean, like half of this list, if I got them, since I already have them, they would just be for customs, which isn't a negative. Curtis is forcing me to pick a figure under duress.
In case this video is used later against Joe Gonzalez by the Horsemen,
none of
that I
these
forced him
figures
into
are
doing this.
bad. I already said I'd be happy to get any of them, but you know.
Gotcha.
Wait,
Billy,
Trevor said Warrior.
Warrior's
I like
fantastic.
Warrior's fantastic.
Yeah,
I
what are
love
you
Warrior's armor.
I love
that's the
I
same.
avoided
Same with me.
Warrior for a while because I think he looks weird in the package with his head turned sideways. Like his head looks like ridiculous. But then once you actually get him and pose him, I think he looks good.
He looks like he's dead set on something because he's just going forward with
I
that
think
head.
Kevin was referring to his favorite box, which would be Godfrey and Zerlonia or
Warrior is not meh.
Jacob, it says Grisha and Xenothon. I don't know if that's his favorite or least favorite. Yeah, Warrior and Mephitor. Okay. Billy, what's your worst box?
It's not Warrior. It would probably be like the 2.0 warehouse finds, but I'm gonna lean towards I know someone's gonna be like real mad because it's like, oh, it's the only kind of female kind of dwarf that we have, Ragna. I'm not a fan of her proportions. I'm not a fan of it.
Stop body shaming.
I'm gonna body shame.
I will say
that
Ragna's armor colors are very striking. She's got very cool colors. That blue just really pops.
Cool colors.
I don't like the character, but I think it has a lot of potential with making it into like a goblin or something like that. But yeah.
How about this? This is something that I've actually thought about. You if anybody pulls a Ragna and a Queen Urxa, popping and swapping those parts between the two, the green orc parts with the black and blue armor would look.
Yeah. As long as you don't use the short legs. Yeah.
Damn it, Joe.
Yeah. No, give the long legs and the bare feet with that armor.
Yeah. Okay, and worst one from this list for you, Billy.
Only because I have like 5 of them split into pieces. I hate to say it, be Uwit Patorion.
Oh wow.
And
Wow,
also,
that's
I mean, like, I hate to say it, every one of them had like a loose left hand.
wow.
I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
It's out there. It's out there for the universe.
Fan.
Greg, what is your worst box?
Eagles. And
Okay.
He's
OTA.
American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but I can't use him for anything but Eagles. I can't swap
Right.
his armor.
You could repaint him into some other bird.
What? I'm good. No, I'm all right.
All right.
Eagles
Eagles
and Okiatos.
Okiatos. Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, it's too bad you work there because it'd been great if you got an Eagles Okados box.
It definitely would.
The Euro Legion guys were kind of meh on Egalis too, and I had to comment on their YouTube video like, it's just treason.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
I mean, listen, I have one not here in this room, but I have one at work on my desk because it's the American colors.
I'd love it if they got an Eagles and they had where they turned into like a Union Jaxus or something.
Well, I'm gonna go through a few of the comments here. We'll see. It sounded like Jesse was on the way home. Maybe he'll get to us before we get done with this section, and he can give us his best and worst box. But we've got Jacob says, give him all the Warriors. He'll take them. I do love the armor color on the Warrior between that, like,
the armor is really cool.
Yeah, that steel like gunmetal look that he's got, and then the red.
I wish I had more than one.
Super cool.
I got like 3 or 4 Warriors. I got 2 painted up like Mario and Luigi. It's wonderful.
Trevor says no head movement. I mean, I wouldn't shame Warrior because
he does. He goes this way. He goes that way. He goes a little bit like this. This movement.
Jacob says just a head swap away from a handsome dwarf. Yeah, I mean, great. If you're going to do customs on it, that Warrior armor is fantastic. The only thing I don't like about those kind of characters is the hooved feet, because then you've got to try to find some feet somewhere else. Which we've gotten some figures that have had multiple sets of feet that have kind of added to the fodder bin, so that's not as big of a concern anymore. But I'm not a fan of the hooved feet ones in terms of customizing.
It was a fun pop and swap that I did. King Bromden, taking the King and swapping him with Warrior. Those Warrior parts, head and hooves and tail, look really good on that black and gold armor.
Oh, nice.
That'd be cool.
That was pretty I ended up putting them back together and trading away the.
Of course, there's a lot of people out there that don't have a Bromden that are mad at you right now, but.
Well, I actually ended up trading the Bromden away to help somebody that didn't.
Oh, look at you! You're so fucking sweet. It's ridiculous.
I'm glad we're on Joe World.
Gold skeletons.
Yeah, you make me want to barf sometimes. Jacob was saying that those were his best ones. So that was the Grisham Xenothon. So there you go. Trevor says Ragna is great with a custom unmasked sculpt. Yeah, I think her armor is really good. I just don't like the head on it. I don't like the overall, character at all. So Jacob says his least one, it would be Delphina and Mephidor. That is surprising. Like Delphina, like even if it's not something you would want for your collection, like she's pretty pop. I think you can move Delphina pretty freaking easily.
Oh yeah.
And trade it for just about anything else on that list.
Or get a head pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has more fun as Redhead.
Yeah, that would be a cool, easy way to make another Templar, is just throw that other head on there. Let's see. Trevor says the Brits are still bitter.
Yeah.
And he said he did forget about Eagles, so it'd be Eagles and Warrior. Which
Eagles is worse than Warrior.
Or Eagles is worse than Warrior. So that would take his list. And then what was the other one? He said Mephitor. So I guess his would be Eagles and Mephitor.
Ooh, that'd be a weird pop and swap.
J-Mac says he'd love a Bromden and Krotos. That sounds a little too dwarf for me. We're gonna have to strike that one from the record.
Those are good pigs. Those are solid pigs.
Jesse says, what am I picking? Just reissues or any of the 36? So we're picking what your best and worst box would be. So you order one mystery box and you get one character from the chase list right here. You get 1 character from the newer figures. So what would your best box look like? So the best figure from each. And then what would your worst box look like? So the worst figure from this one and worst figure for this one for you. Like you ended up with it. It showed up at Jesse's door. He opens it up and you say, man, this is absolutely the worst case scenario for me. Or
Straight
this is
to the
best
basement
case scenario for me. So, and he says he'll be on in a few minutes. So any, Joe, you said you had something else with this. That you
Yeah,
wanted
go
talk
back to
about.
the original graphic, please.
Sure. No
Let's
problem.
just, I heard somewhere that somebody said that they had put Hagnon in there because at the time that they had these reproduced, that Blue Hagnon hadn't been decided on yet.
Correct. That Jeremy did confirm that.
So just looking at these, I'm just curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think this year, instead of doing an all-star vote, and maybe Greg can't answer this, he might have inside information, but that this was originally planned to be a replacement for the all-stars? Instead of letting us vote, they were just going to say, hey, here's these figures.
Well,
and then they kind of pivoted a little bit and decided to make it more fun.
Well, if you take Four Horsemen at their word, like what they've said, what Jeremy said was that these were reproduced so that for the anniversary year they could bring these to shows and have them as kind of just a nice surprise for people that got to the table and have these figures available. So that's why he said they were produced. So I don't think that they were made with the idea of taking All-Stars place. But since we're getting it in this format, do I think we're going to have an All-Stars this year? I think probably not. I don't know that was the original idea when these were made, but I don't think we're getting an All-Stars this year. And I honestly, I hope we don't get All-Stars ever again. I would love to see some sort of, version 2 of, these figures going forward, just because I like the newer figures better. But that's just my take based on what they've said. Greg, we'll see what you can and can't say.
I'm with one of my favorite bosses, Eric. I'm not a fan of the All-Stars. I want new figures. But that's also me being selfish because I have all the old ones.
Yep.
So I just want new stuff, And that's all I got to say.
Okay. Billy?
I'd rather it turn into small stars and have where we got that, because with Necronominus, when All Stars came up, it really was more like a supplementary wave of figures that would have made Necronominus so big and just too many figures and mess with the price point for an all-in. And it came there. I'd much rather that, and then have where, if there is a vote, maybe one old, one new version, something like that, but small. Keep it small stars.
Gotcha. Rygon?
I'm with Billy on this because there are quite a few figures that I wish I had the version 1s of. And I think if they released I don't know, let's say 3 of the older figures and then 4 of the newer figures with the better body styles, the better apps, the better sculpts, all that stuff, I'd be in for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of my favorite characters on this list right here is Queen Urxa. I love her story. I love the character itself. Yeah, but awesome. She definitely would benefit from an upgrade with, as a 1.0 female, body part for a orc leader. You got to think that she's okay. If there's any race in Mythos that was going to be kind of misogynistic, you would think it would be the orcs. You would think that they would definitely not be taking orders from a woman. So the fact that she's in charge of them, to me, says she's a badass. But then you look at the figure and she's just kind of like this, little nothing. I think she could definitely benefit from a bigger body type, some armor, some extra armor.
More bones.
So I think there's definitely something to be said for, they put these figures together at the time based on the parts that they had in their library, and now that library has grown like extensively. And so I think if you remade these figures, even if you did it with current tooling, if you don't add any new tooling, you just do repaints of whatever parts you have up through, let's say, Rising Suns, that still adds quite a bit to these figures. And I think you could put out a really awesome figure that's a upgraded version of these. So
I might be the only one, but I would love to see Urxa in a brute scale.
Oh, interesting. Brute scale female? That would be interesting.
I'm down.
Yeah.
That would be pretty. Yeah, she would lead some orcs that way.
I think from the 1.0 female buck that we've seen, like especially the Nieve, the Vorga is got the 1.0 arms and stuff, but it's still on the little bit smaller side. I think the Nieve body style would work great for an upgraded Queen Urxa, but I'm up for anything. I really love the version 2s. There's most of them I think are far superior than the first ones. I mean, like once Scapular 2 or Atlas 2 comes out, like there's really no reason to have the old one unless you're just got that nostalgic bug or you're a completionist. Like they're so much better. So hey buddy. Hey Jesse.
Hey Jesse.
Before we get to Jesse's pick, Joe, was that kind of what you were looking for as far as is this replacing All-Star?
Yeah, I was just curious what everybody's thoughts were on that.
Okay. Jesse, we just had our Mysteries of Mythos discussion.
Curtis?
And the last thing that we did was kind of picked out what our dream box would be and what our nightmare box would be. So if you were to have a dream box that had one of these figures and one from the other list, what would be the figure on this list that you'd absolutely love to have in your box?
Out of this list, so this is the reissue / warehouse finds, I would go with I'm going to go with one I don't have, so I'd be getting it fill a hole in the collection, and that would be Carpathius.
Okay, all right. And from this list, which would be your favorite to get?
So on this list, my favorite to get would be Malfar, just because everything else I would want to use as a custom, and I would just like to. I mean, he's an army builder, so I think he would be my choice for the newer figures.
Okay, and now you get the absolute worst box that you could have got, which we've talked at length, and Joe has really educated us on. There are no bad boxes, but you get the worst box that you could get. What would be the figure in here that you would be least happy with?
I'm 1,000% in agreement with Joe. I don't think there is a combo of bad boxes. There's ones I might want less than others, but with the customizing aspect of this, everything would work for me. The one I'd be the least disappointed to open and see from this list is Lord Viteris.
Okay,
wow.
So you would not want.
So I guess you're not coming to any more toy cons. Got it.
I have
that.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I mean,
got it. I'm going to make sure.
The reason is I have it. I don't need a multiple of it, and the only thing I would use it for is for custom. So I have him as is with his face on display. So, I mean,
if I got a Lord Viteris, I said this last night on Dorklayer show, but I think what I would do is if I got one of those, I would take it to Legion's Con and have Joe sign it. And then I would put it next to my signed Sir Gerard. Because I've been trying to collect all the tribute ones and have people sign it. So that would be what I would do with that one. But yeah, I hear you. That's
my again. No bad choice. Like I could easily use that figure for customization, but as that character out of this list of characters, I'd prefer all the other ones before him. And Eagleus barely ekes out above him.
Gotcha. And then on this list, which would be your least favorite?
Least favorite on this list would probably be, and this is a tough one. I would probably just say crap, what's his name? The Mercurian at the top. I'm blanking on his name.
Vitus, Vegemaitis.
Vitus, yeah. Inagata Davidas, because I've gotten multiples. I think again, awesome figure. It'd be very easy to customize him into other things. But I've gotten multiples of him already. So
yeah, I was the same way with Sir Owain. Like I think it's a great basic knight, but I've got like 6 of them in the garage. So that would probably be same kind of reasoning. Cool. Well, that was Mysteries of Mythos. Let's see, check the comments, make sure. I think that was it. So
if I can contribute to the All-Stars comment.
Sure.
I enjoy All-Stars. I also like getting newer stuff. So if they're going to continue All-Stars, I'm going to be happy with it, because like this mystery box, there'll be always something fun to get out of it. I did pitch this idea on one of the shows a couple months ago where, it's a version 2 stars or whatever, where all existing parts, all existing tooling, except for maybe a new head sculpt. So we get maybe characters who aren't as likely to get a version 2 with all existing parts except maybe a new head. So, say Asterian's not prime character, he's not enough of a character to get a version 2. Maybe we get an updated version of him with some different armor or different weapons or something.
And he's
just
brute scale. And he's brute
or
scale.
brute scale. But I mean, we'd have to get. Well, the Minotaur parts do work on brute scale. They do work.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's actually that Praetorian head you're holding for me. That's what I'm doing. I'm making a brute scale
nice
Asterion. So
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I actually think that's a great idea. I liked what they did, like with the Gold Knight, throw in an extra head, and then the head from the Father Christmas, and all of a sudden you've got like 3 unique figures, or not unique, but 3 figures that used to be just one. So I like when they do that kind of stuff for sure.
Right. So like Jorand Runeshaper, maybe I'm sure he's an important character, but if he's not big enough to get a regular version 2, maybe you update him with some of those new Rising Suns dwarf parts, and maybe like a new unhelmeted dwarf head where, he's a little more,
maybe a
savage,
magic effect or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's some magic effects, maybe, something like
And
that.
a cape.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But existing parts except for the head and, maybe some new cool soft goods or something. But,
unless you want to get a Darla Ackerman cape, and that's fine too. So,
and those are amazing.
Little spoiler, and I don't know if I'm supposed to mention this. You'll hear if I get in trouble here in a second, but Darla is working on an ogre cape for Greg's figure that should be out later this year.
Yeah.
So and she's just finished the first ones. She still has to put the holes in them for the pauldrons, but they look pretty spectacular. I think we got some color ideas from Greg, and I think Greg, you're going to be very happy. So
I look forward to it.
And we will, as soon as they're done, we will send one off to you. You will be the first one to have it in hand. So
now, clarification: is it Greg scale or figure scale?
It is Greg's figure.
I need one of each.
Scale.
I need one of each.
Yeah. So, and then she's also working on one for Baradak. So when that comes out later this year, you'll have some ogre capes for both of them. So, I think those are going to be pretty cool. So we'll have those at Legion's Con, but before Legion's Con, Greg will have it in the mail. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Next, I think we've got This Week in Theaters, unless there's anything else anybody has before that. No,
I'm good.
All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Did you guys see that helmet that Anthony got? That the girl and this dude yes, that
Rebecca
they made
and
for
John.
him.
Yep.
Yeah, Rebecca and John, they made for him. They made him.
Oh yeah. That was cool.
Yep.
So we were chatting, and he was like, "Well, you should get one for yourself too." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll probably have to get a loan for that." But man, it's very tempting right now. So tempting to get
Just
that
trade him a
before
car.
Legion Con.
Yeah, get him a good deal on a car.
That could possibly
find
work.
a Wagoneer for him.
Yeah, I'll take off $2,000 for that.
All right, we're gonna hit the random number generator. We got 1982 to 2010, and
Oh boy,
we're in 1999.
I'm
So
alive.
here we
Tonight
go.
we're gonna party like it's.
We are gonna party like it.
Matrix out.
I was 20 at that time.
All right,
Those are
let's see.
those are some blurry times.
1999.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we are going down to let's move this over a bit and move this down a bit. Okay, we're going to October 19th.
Oh, boy.
All right, here's what we got for top 10. Number one at the box
Yes.
office this week was Life.
Oh, this was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Martin Lawrence,
Yep.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, 1932. Two strangers are wrongfully convicted and develop a strong friendship in prison that lasts them through the 20th century. So
That's a synopsis, I guess.
then we've got the Matrix.
The mattress.
What week is that for the Matrix?
This is number 4. 4 weeks in for the Matrix.
Wow, how did that get bumped by Life?
When a
Life was
beautiful
really good,
stranger
man.
leads
Bite your
computer
tongue,
hacker
sir.
Neo to a forbidding underworld, he discovers a shocking truth. The life he knows is the elaborate deception of an evil cyber intelligence.
And the reason this bumped the Matrix is because this was Martin Lawrence pre-Run Tell That before he melted his brain on drugs. Just saying.
Okay. Then we've got Never Been Kissed. Newspaper reporter enrolls in high school as part of a research for a story. Looks like,
That's PG-13.
is that Drew Barrymore?
Yeah,
It is.
Okay. Then we've got Analyze This, comedy about a psychiatrist whose number one patient is an insecure mob boss. That is Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro.
I love Billy Crystal.
You've got 10 Things I Hate About You. High school boy Cameron cannot date Bianca until her antisocial older sister Kat has a boyfriend. So Cameron pays a mysterious boy Patrick to charm Kat. All right.
it's Shakespeare.
Okay.
Literally,
Never
it's
seen
an
it.
adaptation of a Shakespeare play.
Sounds great. Next we have Go. The aftermath of a drug deal as told from 3 different viewpoints. So, all right.
I never seen that.
Never heard of it.
We have the Out of Towners, the remake of 1970 Neil Simon comedy follows the adventures of a married couple, Henry and Nancy Clark, as they are vexed by misfortune while in New York City for a job interview. Looks like Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn, maybe. So
I think I might have saw that one time as a kid.
then we've got Forces of Nature at number 8. Soon to be married man encounters an exciting stranger after his plane suffers an accident on takeoff.
Oh my goodness! I wonder if they'll
Sandra
have
Bullock
Fall in Love.
and Ben Affleck. Then we've
Spoiler
got
alert, they don't.
okay.
Oh no!
No.
Next we've got Cookie's Fortune.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, happy birthday, Cookie.
Happy birthday, Cookie.
Yeah. Conflict arises in a small town of Holly Springs when an old woman's death causes a variety of reactions amongst family and friends.
How is this in the top 10 if its budget is 10 million and it grossed 10 million and a little bit more?
I don't know, but that
It was
seems like
1999.
a movie that Jesse would recommend. And have you ever like that? Just
I've never seen that one.
this totally feels like I bet if you watch this, Jesse, that this would be one of your favorites. It just feels it's got Jesse feel all over it.
It opened in 10 theaters.
And last we've got a real Shakespeare thing. Shakespeare in Love. The world's greatest ever playwright, William Shakespeare, is young, out of ideas, short on cash, but meets his ideal woman and is inspired to write one of his most famous plays. So there we go. That is our top 10. And the question is, what are you going to see? Greg, you're first.
Life.
Going to see Life. All right. I was gonna try to not pick the obvious here. I think the only other one I would maybe see is Analyze This, but I gotta go see The Matrix. Like seeing it on big screen was such an experience. And I absolutely love that movie, especially the first one. The other ones, but the first one was awesome. Seeing it on the big screen, I think, would be an incredible experience again. So yeah, I got to go see The Matrix. Jesse,
I'll sneak into the Matrix.
all right.
It's hard to picture Greg sneaking anywhere.
That's true.
You'd be surprised. I'm a 6'8" ninja.
I don't know if I'm going into the theater with Curtis with his sneaky stolen candy, but or non theater purchase candy, but I'm going to the Matrix. I've seen at least half the other movies on this list, and the ones that I like would be worth seeing again, but not with the Matrix on a big screen, surround sound. Yeah, that movie's never been the same on a regular TV.
Yeah, it's just an experience, you know.
Yeah,
like I really love Analyze This. It's a great movie, but you know, for that experience, like that's one I would rather watch at home versus Matrix having it on. That would just be awesome. But I'm surprised they haven't done. Maybe they haven't. I've missed it, but I'm surprised they haven't done like a re-release of that in the theaters for folks.
I think they have a few years back. They did.
Did they? Yeah,
I think so.
Like Billy,
pre-COVID.
What are you seeing?
It's got to be The Matrix, because I mean, like, as much as I love life, even if it's seen in the first time, I was like, it's got to be The Matrix. It has so many like amazing visual things. It was the first time they ever did it.
Yeah,
you got to see on the big screen. And who the hell saw Go?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So Billy's going with The Matrix with us. Joe, what are you seeing?
This is an easy one for me. Shakespeare in Love. It's actually one of my favorite
guys. I gotta head out.
All right, Joe had some technical difficulties. We had to remove him from the show. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe. Explain yourself.
It's a fantastic movie.
Next.
Interesting.
It's a great movie. I know everybody's high on Matrix, but so I was dating my first wife before we got married. I didn't own a TV at the time, so I had no idea what the Matrix was, and went and watched it. Just picked a random movie, you know, and went and watched it and was completely blown away. But I've seen it on the big screen, you know, so it's not as appealing to me. And I absolutely love Shakespeare in Love. I think it's a great movie. One of my favorites on the list. Has anyone else seen it?
I have not. And I was waiting for you to say something that would make me want to see it. And
Golden Apples.
I don't know what that means.
This is about boobs.
Well, you have to watch the movie.
All right.
You have to watch
I'm going to comment real quick if I can jump in there real quick. I refuse to watch that movie because it beat Saving Private Ryan for movie of the year at the Oscars. And so and I don't really like Gwyneth Paltrow that much. So I've never bothered taking the time to watch it.
I
think it's better than Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can we replace Joe Gonzalez with Joe Pantalones from?
No, Joe. I'll take your word for it. I know I'm very opinionated on it for no good reason.
Okay. Ray's gone bye. Egon, what do you got? Rygon, what do you got?
So I am the kid outside of the movie theater asking Greg to buy me a ticket to the rated R movie Life. Because I am only 11 years old.
All right. Gotcha.
He doesn't have to get you a ticket. He's just going to like hide you in like the bottom half of his trench coat.
So I just open the back door like I used to do.
So this is the time where we kind of look at how many weeks things are out. So Shakespeare in Love, number 10 at 19 weeks. Total gross 90,000, which Matrix exceeded in 4 weeks. Just FYI for anybody that was on the fence between those two movies.
I seen it.
So
I don't think money necessarily means it's a good movie. It just
money
means a lot of people
means
saw it.
everything, Jesse.
I'm
Then
so
I'm
glad
Shakespeare in Love is a good movie.
Ugh.
Okay. I think I may check out this one though. Out of Towners. I may check that out. See what that's about.
There's hardly a bad like Steve Martin movie.
I was still waiting on Joe to tell me something about Shakespeare in Love that made me want to see it, but he
I don't want to
like,
spoil anything.
The Golden Apples.
Can you
Golden
tell me
Apples.
like
Where is the
Golden
play
Apples.
Can we just
and
stop?
what is my
How did-
plot?
how did it
You have
make
to
you
watch it.
feel watching the movie? What was the feeling of the movie? Was it comedy? Is it like romance? Is it, you know, what feelings did it give you that makes you want to go back in time to watch it?
I think just a little bit of everything. It's about the Shakespearean era, like it's Shakespeare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men played the parts of women at the time in some of those plays. Gwyneth Paltrow is pretending to be a man, in the theater company. Shakespeare is in love with her, has fallen in love with her, out of character, I guess. He doesn't know that she's part of the theater company that he's writing for. So, but he's in love with her. But then he's like this amazing writer, but he's awkward.
I'm going to go watch it right now.
Yeah.
He's awkward. Well, he's awkward as,
I'm so intrigued.
That's the Golden Apples part. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you,
I'm not doing a great
That's a knee slapper if I ever heard one.
Joe, I'm going to tell you something.
I get the
I used to
feeling.
like
I was
Joe.
given a synopsis. I was given a synopsis of the movie. But it kind of covered all the bases for me, and it still reminded me of a Shakespearean feel type play,
Trevor says it's a fun comedy, sort of romantic comedy. Okay. That's kind of what I was looking for. Joe, I will say something to you that I usually keep reserved for Jesse. And that's that it sounds artsy fartsy. So
it's 100%.
Okay.
I'll tell you the second one on that list. The second one on that list I would see is 10 Things I Hate About You. That movie is amazing.
Okay. Beautiful.
I mean, Life is amazing because it's an accurate portrayal of the South. So,
hey, Trevor.
Wow. All right. We know what Trevor's getting in his mystery box.
I really hope I get that order.
Ooh, double bronchitis.
He's getting bronchitis and a Hagnon.
Yeah, never. There's two people you never upset in life. One is the person making your food, and the other one's picking your 4 horseman order. Those are the two people you don't mess with.
He's definitely getting an
Psychologists.
But I don't expect you guys to like the things that I like. I think that part of what makes this show so entertaining is our personalities are so different. Even though, you guys all pick.
It's okay, Joe. I still like you. I'm not going to judge you for that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
At least not on air.
This is Joe G Live, damn it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you were just talking about how you undid a custom so that you could help somebody out by giving them a Bromden earlier. So, like, you built up a lot of goodwill before you hit us with that, Shakespeare in Love bomb.
You guys don't like.
Yeah.
Of course, Trevor's going to back him up. He got a Ethron. I'd back him up too.
Yeah. Joe sends me an Ethron. I'll watch any kind of Shakespeare movie. I'll read Shakespeare.
I mean, I'd be forced to watch it if I got a gold skeleton. I'd watch it with the gold skeleton.
Yeah,
as rare as
I'm building up good karma, I guess. Yep.
I don't have lightning round. Actually, you know what I do, because I gave one to Dooch and he decided not to use it. So I'm gonna throw it out here tonight. And we're just gonna do a lightning round and F the Dooch. So
Billy,
I
are
got
you knitting?
What's that?
Is Billy knitting? What is going on over there?
No, I'm messing with a knockoff Godzilla part.
I just see like his hands going like this over here, and I was like, is he like crocheting something down there?
For sure.
I haven't picked it up yet.
sure
You
he's
know, like
crocheting.
I did the freaking.
All right, I'm gonna throw out a lightning round questions. One question. We'll go around. We'll start with Jesse. Work our way around. The question is: you can attain one skill, be a master at it without having to put the hours towards it to become a master at it. So any sort of skill in life, what would it be? What is one thing that you would love to be excellent at that you wouldn't have to work at getting excellent at?
Oh gosh, you can't put me on first.
You can always say skip and we'll come back to you.
Skip.
All right, Billy.
That's not my answer. That's not my answer.
No, we're good.
It's not knitting. I don't know. Maybe like financial investments. There you go.
Okay. Gotcha. Greg?
Accountant.
Accounting?
Yeah, that's a job you can never lose.
Okay.
It's true.
All right. Rygon?
I'm going to go with photography.
Photography. That's a good one. Yep. Just like master every aspect of it and just totally like make Trevor look like, me on an iPhone.
No, not just toy photography in general.
In general.
Like,
just like,
gotcha. All aspects of it.
Trevor and shit. Oh my God.
You know what? I'd have to, yeah. I'd make a scarf for my cat.
He's going to make one for my cat too.
Joe, what's one skill you'd want that you wouldn't have to, work towards, but you would automatically just immediately excel at?
Man, that is a tough question. I'm bad at so many things. It's hard to pick just one thing. I guess going with a logical answer, automotive mechanics. I'm a parts changer, not a mechanic. And especially modern cars, it's so hard to work on them.
Yeah.
They are.
I have like a 93 Jeep that's like my favorite vehicle because I can replace every part on it. But
Nice.
So I think automotive mechanics.
I actually thought that we would get a lot more like, I want to be an excellent guitar player or whatever. I thought we would get some more stuff like that, but it's been interesting answers.
I didn't know. I thought we were going like realistic, not pipe dreams.
I'm saying it's in any skill that you want.
Even if I was an amazing singer, I'm 47. Like I'm not going to be a hit band.
It's a skill that you would just right now. Somebody grants you a wish and they say they can give you one skill and you're perfect at it. You're great at it and you never have to spend the hours to get great. You're just automatically great.
Yeah.
So, I think the one that I would do is sculpting, 3D sculpting, and the reason I say that is because. It's just there's so much. It's so intimidating, like all the different tools and everything. Like even folks that have been doing it for a while, Saba and Emil and things like you listen to them, they're like, there's so many tools that they still have not even used and they don't know what they do. And like, those are guys that have been doing this for a long time. So I think, I've always loved creating things. Even like when I was a kid playing video games, I told you guys, I'm not a real big avid video game player, but when I did, like one of my favorite games was like the WWE games, and all I would do is create the wrestlers. I wouldn't even like do the wrestling. Like I just would create the people. So like that character creation thing is something I love. I think I would absolutely love to sculpt. I'm just so intimidated by, the tools that and the knowledge that you have to be able to do that it stops me from even starting. So, So that would be mine. Jesse?
There's
go ahead.
So many great, I just want to say there's so many great creators already. Why I didn't think of anything like that, like Carlo in the chat, that I don't feel the need to actually create any of that stuff myself. The market, it has some real.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I would be filling a void that somebody's not doing. I just think it would be fun. I think I would really enjoy just the creative process. Like I sit here and watch like Carl and Tristan do the thing where, you know, they get on and they do the sculpting session live where one's working on one sculpt and one's working on another. And they kind of keep flipping back 4 screens. And obviously I've done the ones with Emil where he's sculpting live and it just looks like an absolute blast. I think it would be awesome, but it's just, yeah, it's so intimidating. Jesse?
I'm sure I'm going to get laughed off the show, but dancing.
Oh, no, that's, not at all.
Why would you get laughed at for that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Curtis just likes to.
I am not going to laugh at that, but I do so wish I would have waited for Dooch for this question because Dooch would be fucking rolling right now.
I mean, like, I'd love to see Jesse on like Dancing with the Stars, where he's just like,
I would love
really
to see
going
that.
at it.
I want to see
sure.
especially tap dancing.
No, tap dancing annoys the shit out of me. It's
I
like
know.
whistling.
That's why I'd like for you to do it.
I made Curtis watch all 37 Step Up movies.
It gets longer each time we tell it. Yeah.
All 5 different series from the 6 different countries that,
including the one in hieroglyphics.
I just like that sort of stuff. It just impresses the hell out of me. Like I can barely tap in rhythm like to a song, and I think ever since what was the MTV show? What was that one show? Was it Made?
Yeah, I think so.
And you know, like you got like a crash course on learning how to do something, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a thing. I was like, if I could do something, it would be dancing. Realistically, now my condition, even you know, like being in my 40s, I know that would probably be a very short-lived career. So if I had to pick something else, it would be like nature survival or like tracking, like but you know, all out, no holds barred, be dancing.
Yeah, I mean, when I thought about it, I wasn't thinking of anything like, you know, making money with it. I just thought like it would be cool to do. Like that's why I thought there would be some people going like,
oh,
you know what?
if it's like that, then I want to be a
whatever.
What did you just say?
He wants to be a gin ecologist.
gynecologist.
Gin,
Gotcha.
yes.
Gin, yes.
Yeah, not. Yeah, that one. That's the one he wants to be.
That's it.
GIN. That's it.
Oh, from Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
that's it. That's the one.
Okay. I did see, I was trying to look it up on Instagram real quick, but I know
Now, but for a fun part, a painter,
what's that?
like just knowing all the like paint, like just for fun, not money making. Like
Yeah.
a painter.
Yeah, that
Like
would be cool.
Sistine
Like
Chapel?
dabbling with the painting. Nah, just painting in general. I mean, the portraits or action figures, it all kind of leads to the same.
Mhm.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Did you hear that?
I seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of, I thought you were like thinking about what I was saying, and then you I was like, all right, that's a sneeze.
I did see, I was trying to find it on Instagram here, but I did see where for like the sculpting one, like Saba has a thing where like he does like a course for people. And I don't know what the cost is of it or something or anything like that, but I've seen him do a couple posts of like people's work that have taken his course, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So I don't know how much it is or anything, but I will say that the results have been pretty spectacular. So just
It'd be better if
FYI.
it was a fine instead of a course.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot of fines. Course is better.
I'm just
It's
thinking about where
everywhere.
your thing you wanted to be good at instantly was tracking, and then Van and Jordan are always joking about being like people being hidden in your basement. I'm like, Jesse's like one mask away from being like an 80s serial killer now.
Hey. My instant thing was dancing. I said if I had to pick something more practical today, tracking, like finding someone, who's evading.
He'd find you and then dance for you.
Yeah,
A kid who got lost. I mean, that's what Trevor's saying. Why not track dance? I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
You watched that new show, Tracker?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
No, just be
can we
like
pick a fun one? Because I kind of went serious, like realistic. But if we're doing something fun, I would want like a voice actor's ability to do voices.
Nice.
For D&D.
That'd be
because I'm very much not a voice actor. So and I think it's really fun, watching some of these professionals run Dungeons and Dragons games and being able to do all the voices for the characters and actually have them be impressive. I think that would add a lot to the game. So
that would be
that's my
cool,
fun pick.
Not just have
I found this thing from Saba where he's got this anatomy of an action figure for people that want to like get into sculpting. And let me scroll down to the bottom here because it says created for people who want to study or create their own action figures and they want to have a head start. Hope you like it. So that's like these files, but I know he does some stuff where he actually like helps people like learn how to do it. So that would be kind of cool. I like I said, I don't know what the cost of something like that would be, but and I know a lot of folks that did get into sculpting, like they just started using it and kind of learned on their own, maybe looked at some YouTube videos or whatever, but it just, man, it seems so daunting. So it would be like being 40 years old and trying to learn to dance, so.
He's gonna use that tracking to get all the way to Missouri.
Yeah, I really liked dancing as a pick because like Jesse, I really like even the old Michael Jackson videos. Like, how can you watch Thriller and not want to just do all the dances and stuff? I was never able to, and currently I'm not physically able to, even if I wanted to learn.
Can you imagine like you show up at some like random whatever wedding reception or something for a cousin or somebody that doesn't know that you can dance, and then all of a sudden you just like get down on the floor and like everybody's watching you like, oh my god, they're amazing. Like, yeah, that'd be cool.
I just want to be able to do like Sam Rockwell does in every single movie, just for no reason. He just starts dancing for a couple of seconds with some fancy footwork.
Yeah.
Just just like walking through Walmart or
So you just want to be like Justin Hammer is what you want.
No, I don't want to be the douchebag. I want to be like Sam Rockwell. Like he plays the douchebag well, but like he seems like a decent person.
I do love that in Iron Man 2, where he's like, he's on the stage and he just kind of, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, listen, it's 11:30. I gotta get up early and I gotta head out.
Yep. I think that's pretty much a show anyway. So Greg told us it's bedtime. So
phenomenal. But
good night, Greg.
Before we go, Greg, before you leave, is there anything that people should know where they can see anything that you're doing and your pictures of your collection, any place that you're going to be at any shows coming up?
Just look up a little bit and you'll see Greg.
There you go. There you'll see Greg.
Absolutely.
He figured out how to track
me on.
How is the tracking going to be the thing that haunts me from this episode?
It's going to haunt you for longer than this episode, Jesse.
I mean, like, it's going to be good.
Catch me on Greg Formerly Boot Scale on IG. Tomorrow night, I'm going to hop on a Heads Hog show.
Nice.
For a little while.
Beautiful.
And that's about it for now.
And look for that figure coming out later this year, right?
Yes, should be in the summertime sometime.
There you go. And if you haven't already ordered one, get to your local retailer and make sure you place an order because those things are going to go quick.
Yes, they are.
There you go.
Big Ogre Scale night.
Well, thanks for joining us, Greg. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see you. Billy, where can people see you?
You can see me on my YouTube, Billy Beige Customs, where I talk about random figures and Godzilla now.
Nice. Where Billy reviews stuff, he customizes stuff, he opens stuff, he does all kinds of stuff. Stuff with stuff.
I do stuff.
Yeah.
but
Billy
not
does-
tracking
Yeah, Billy does stuff.
or knitting.
So- All right. Yeah, check out Billy's channel. Anything that you've got coming up that people should be aware of? Any reviews or things that you're excited for?
I got. Let's see here. I got what? I got the Altered Beast figure. I want to fiddle around
okay.
with, even though it's 1/18th scale,
Mhm.
and some more hot topics about like toy companies and like liking stuff and not poo-pooing on people for liking things.
Okay.
Things like that.
Beautiful. All right. Rygon, sounds like you guys got a Saturday Live tomorrow.
I guess he forgot I was on that show.
What? So people can see that on Hedgehog's YouTube channel, Hedgehog Action, or they can see it in the Dork Layer Collector group. And you guys are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I think it's 6 p.m.
Okay. Cool. Any kind of topic that you guys got for tomorrow, or just the normal thing?
Just a normal thing.
Okay. Cool. So check that out. That should be a lot of fun. Okay.
Macrame.
I did mention earlier, Jesse and I have an early start time on Sunday because I've got some work to do Sunday night. So 1 p.m. Eastern, we will be joined by Tomas and Emil. The Swedes are invading. We'll have a great time with that. Speaking of which, Jesse, I need your shelf selections when you get a chance because we got an early show.
Okay, it's Friday.
Yeah, I know, but
That weekend sneaks up.
Normally,
on
I
you.
ask you on Sunday, but that would be too late.
I'll get them to you tomorrow.
Thanks. Appreciate that, bud. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be backstage PGG. We have a guest. I think, we got Jason from AWOC on again.
Nice.
So we'll be able to kind of see how that all finished out, talk about that stuff. Yeah, so that'll be fun tomorrow night. And for OffWorld, I know we are starting to work on a road to 500. We are currently sitting at 200 and some odd subscribers. We are going to do some giveaways coming up soon. We have got, right now, we've got a Brother Mandibulus planned for a 300 subscriber giveaway.
Nice.
We have got a, Joe, help me out. It was one of the birds for the 400.
Yep, it sure is.
Archaeopteryx.
That's the
There
one.
you go. That one.
That's how you say that name?
What color bird is that one?
That's
Green.
the dinosaur bird.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
I think that's the one that's on Jeremy's leg, that's tattooed on his leg.
Oh, I thought it was on a
that's
Quetzalcoatl.
Israel Ramirez. Hold
Oh,
on,
okay.
hold on.
Gotcha. So we got a bird scheduled for the 400 giveaway, and then we've got a Brontis scheduled for the 500 subscriber giveaway. So just be prepared for those. Maybe some other ones included. There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
heck
Maybe some
yeah.
other giveaways included, but those are kind of the big ones. So if you're not already subscribed and you're listening to this live or on replay, make sure you subscribe to the OffWorld channel. If you know any friends that are either interested in the show or giveaways, I guess have them go and subscribe.
And do me a favor, if you subscribe to the show, watch sometimes, because
There
we
you
have
go.
254 subscribers, and I've only ever seen, I think the most is like 24 people in chat. It's a good show.
I think
It's a
that
show.
the big thing is the time, because Friday night doesn't work for a lot of folks. So I think I know there's several folks that I've talked to that watch on replay. So if you're watching on replay, make sure you give it a like, throw a comment in there. Tell us what your favorite box would be from the Mysteries of Mythos, or what your least favorite box would be. So yeah, throw a comment out there and
that's a
go
good
from
one.
there. Jesse, anything else you got? I know you got a toy show coming up, correct?
Yeah, I'll be with Wolf King and the Four Horsemen street team at the Lehigh Valley Toy and Comic Con or something like that in Easton, PA on May 4th.
Beautiful. Is that just a one-day show?
It is a one-day show, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to
Sounds
worry
like
about
what?
getting it confused, because the other one that has almost the exact same name was last weekend, so I don't need to
Okay.
be too worried about.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's coming up. So Len will be running the Wolf King or the street team with the Horseman table, and I'll be running the Wolf King table.
It looked like he had his vehicle packed with stuff today. I saw his post, and he had a picture with his whole van full. So
I'm guessing if he's bringing all the Horseman stuff, he's probably going to have a trailer too. So
nice.
Because he packs out his vehicle when he's bringing Wolf King stuff. It's packed for the Wolf King table. So when he's done the street team, when we did that at RetroCon last year, he had like a second trailer that was all the Horseman product. So
Trevor trying to help us out with comments. Would you be a dancer or a tracker? In the comments, let us know.
Come on. I'm trying to put a moratorium on the blue light comments, and you're picking on me. I mean,
what color light do you have going on there right now, Jesse?
I'm not making fun of him. It was just the next color in the settings. I do like blue.
Well, folks, it was a fun show. Appreciate everybody coming out. Anybody watching on replay.
You skipped me, Curtis.
But, I'm sorry, Joe. Dude, that's fine. We started this out so well with you being in charge, and it is Joganzava's live, and I'm sorry. Go ahead. Have at it, sir. In fact, let's embiggen you.
I have nothing going on this weekend because I'm traveling.
I'm so sorry I skipped you.
But I did want to give a little teaser. I'm cooking up something big. And, I've started working on it. It's going to be about a month, but it's something for people that I really hope that people are going to enjoy. So whet your appetite. I don't have a graphic like the Horsemen do. I probably should have done that, but in about a month's time, hopefully I'll have some solid information to give out. Something fun for people to watch. So
beautiful.
If people imagined a pixelated quilt, would that help?
Pixelated beard.
There you go.
Okay.
It's a quilt made of beards.
Trevor's guess is that you're working on a handlebar mustache. So we'll see.
Maybe.
We will see.
Oh my goodness, he's going to take over the railroads.
All right. Well, tune in tomorrow, Saturday Day Live. See what kind of facial hair or wigs that Rygon might be wearing for the show. So as we work on the little magnetized thing that we can sell at Legion's Con. So
the Woolly Willies. What would you call it?
I don't know. The Raggy Willies.
Woolly Ryan.
There you go. Well, until next time, catch you on the off world.